On modern day debate, they had some flat earther in there, like, mumbling and bumbling and fumbling and on like intelligent design. He really didn't defend it that well, and I think it made us look pretty foolish. But yeah, did a
Like,
great job.
oh,
He
yeah,
stood
did.
up
Thank.
against him.
Oh,
He
I
did a
did. He
great
shut his
job.
mouth, man. He didn't. Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, absolutely. I do. I think that guys like him are so dangerous because, they
He's a
have
smooth
act.
talker. Yeah.
So, me and Oreo are on a walk, and I was thinking to myself, Oreo tried to bite his mama earlier today when she was trying to change his sweater. And I thought, man, my dog is just kind of a butthole. But I love him. He was by my side many, many years in my depression. He protected me when I was going through my withdrawals. He could sense my stress, and he tried to bite anybody that would come near me. Um, because Tammy always beat me up anyway, but that's a lie. But I thought, you know what? He's my butthole. He has a bad attitude, and he bites anybody but me. Actually, he's bitten me too, but he's my butthole. And then I thought, you know what? I'm God's butthole. I'm horrible, but he still loves me, and I'm thankful.
Do the same thing
Okay.
today.
Look how Jill is just like he's one of the best debate partners to have for slavery because he comes right at him, and they don't know how to handle him. This is hilarious.
If the
Jill,
situation brings
just
the
to be,
same, if
I hate to,
if
I
the
just want to
situation
ask
were
you,
the
see if you
same
can wrap
today,
this sentence up, Jill.
okay, if the situation were the same today, would we not go over there and kick butt? The
All right,
Versailles
let's give,
Treaty.
just to
Okay,
give plenty of
I'll
time to
talk
the other
about the
side.
Versailles Treaty later because they don't understand that it's a more sophisticated form of slavery, which is why Hitler was so upset, which is why you had World War II.
Oh, sirs, you want to say something? Or?
Oh no, I'm broken. Go ahead.
So in Leviticus 25, like this is something that I think is important to recognize, right? In Exodus 21, the law is very clear. You can take an Eved Ivri, you can take a Hebrew slave, 6 years, keep him, set him free in the seventh. Deuteronomy 15, same thing is true. There might be.
It's the mad son.
The madman.
The mad son.
Peace and respect, everybody.
Peace and respect.
Hey, P-Town, I've got bad news. You don't
What's
have control over your family.
In what way? What do you mean?
If a woman is going to chat, if of two adults, one of them is going to chastise the other one in front of a child, the other one who just got chastised does not have any control.
Right, that's my point. Is if she chastises me in front of my daughter, that's the one thing that really bothers me, and I have to walk out the room, and then I have to cool off because I don't want my daughter seeing that.
Well, it's worse usually, if you walk out of the room, actually.
Well, I don't know what to do, so that's kind of why I mentioned it. Honestly, I am looking for advice in that situation.
You take the woman in private, and you talk about what is a healthy relationship obvious to the child and what's best for the child. Because that is not best for the child.
Right. So we're on the same page. That is what I do. And I don't think she's seeing what I'm trying to express to her because mainly I'm concerned with her. If she Like she's putting, we prayed, and now she's putting our daughter down. He doesn't like to sleep, but if I have to get involved, I I can take care of it really quickly. Like if she doesn't treat me the same way, she'll
You
pull
mean the
on mom's
child has some
coattails.
discipline around you, but not around mom. This is where
Correct.
I
And
even sensible women will agree that women are great at compassion and men are great at discipline. And when a child needs an authority figure in discipline instead of compassion, that should be the male role.
correct. And when and I think where she struggles to trust me because she thinks that, see, my form of discipline is not physical. I sit down and I have a conversation with my daughter, and
Yeah.
I have a manly tone about it, and I explain that, Daddy, you're going to do this, or Dad's going to turn out the lights. Right? We're going to try and go to sleep, or Dad's going to turn out the lights, and there's no more stimulation.
Could
It's your
I ask some?
decision. Yeah.
Obviously, there should be no stimulation. I mean, you're an adult. When you lay down to go to sleep, you don't leave well, some people do like that, and that is a lack of stimulation. But you don't add stimulations that you like that keep you awake while you're trying to go. Humans don't do that,
Correct. I
right?
don't do that, especially in front of her. I'll do it with me. Like I might listen to something to fall asleep, but I'm
Well,
not going to
that's not
contradict
being
what.
interested in it. That's being ignoring it for background noise. Some people like background noise. That's not the same thing.
Right.
But
Right.
you
Right.
certainly wouldn't like play a video game that you like while trying to fall asleep. That's not going to work out, right?
Correct. Yeah. So.
Okay, so where is this woman's father?
The thing is, if there's a kid talking back to you, or right, it's not, it's you. It's not the kid.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. That
No, you already lost control if a kid talks back to you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cause like my grandpa kicked my ass once, but like I was so scared of my grandpa's old ass, I didn't hit him back. I just covered my head. Now I kick my dad's ass. There's a lot of people more scary than my grandpa, but not like I was genuinely scared of my grandpa because that's like the only father figure I ever had.
Mm.
You see, so your kids lose respect for you. They
That's
shouldn't
right.
be acting like you shouldn't have to hit your kid. Your kid should know, hey,
Right.
if dad gets fucking pissed, if I fuck up dad's TV timer, wake him up, and he's gonna whoop my ass. They should know that. There shouldn't ever be the situation where you go, I'm gonna spank you. I'm
I don't
gonna
even
take my
think
belt
it.
off because
I don't.
there's a lack of respect.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it. I don't think it should be even a thing about how it'll whip your butt. I think it shouldn't even. It should just be a thing. Like it's the same way we're supposed to be the head. Like Christ is the head of the church, right? We're supposed to be the head of the household.
Precisely.
And there's no like we're not to be like, if in the rare case, I say something and make a decision. In the rare case where I draw a line, that's a line. It has nothing to do with what the consequences would be, because you're not going to cross it. Like, I don't know how to describe this. That was the way it was with my dad. Like, I never was in fear of him hurting me in any way. I didn't want to disappoint him. I don't want to disappoint God in my actions. Just the same now. I didn't want to disappoint my dad. I think that was the biggest thing. Just because he's my dad, he's the boss,
Hey,
man.
are you really the head of the household? Do you pay for everything?
Yeah.
Or does she
Do I-
also work? And you share the expenses together?
Well, this year I recently took a 50% pay cut for stress reasons.
There
But
you
I
go.
still make.
You're not really
pay
the
for
head
all-
of the household.
Well, I pay for all the bills. I mean, she makes. Let's see, she has 200. I pay for everything. But this year, I still pay for everything because I have reserves. But I'm, instead of making 170, I'm making 90 or something. So it's been a little tricky. She actually come close to me, which is fabulous, wonderful. She's saving money, but I pay for everything, yeah. But I don't think that necessarily is what the Bible's referring to when it talks about the head of the household.
I mean, you need to be the head of the household. You won't have issues like that. That's why I tell you, I learned how to be a father from my grandfather, and that's how. 'Cause I could whoop my grandpa's ass. Well, he's dead now, but I could have whooped his old ass. But I was scared to, because I was scared of him leaving me. He was the head of the household.
That's a proper, respectful fear. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm not scared of him physically. I was scared of him leaving me or abandoning me, leaving me on bad footing. Because like I always knew my grandpa, someone that worked every day, somebody that was always there. He's always gonna be there, and that was my genuine fear, that my grandpa would leave me. My dad wasn't around a lot, but my grandpa was. That was the only father figure I had. So when I had a problem, like my sister, I was supposed to walk my sister home every day, and I left. I didn't walk. I went with a girl. My sister came home by herself the day my grandpa's at my house. So he saw that. And when I got home, my grandpa was standing there waiting for me. He had his sleeves rolled up, and I knew we were going to fight. So I just covered my head.
I wish you the best of luck, P-Town. I mean, it's already a bad situation for your daughter.
Well, she's incredible. It's just she's what's going on right now is she's going through that age where she's pushing mom to her limits, like
That's
emotionally,
normal.
right? And I'm trying to, and I'm not an expert, but she can't do that to me. It's just not even.
Well, if she doesn't even try that with you, you did something right.
Yeah, if she doesn't do that with you, you're fine.
Right. So when mom contradicts me in front of her, it's because she's appealing to her mom, and I don't want to be a part of that where I'm going to let her.
The problem is she's undermining your authority and your effectiveness to raise the daughter and tell her what a man. Look, if you want your daughter to grow up and marry a man who's slimy and sideways, if you want your daughter to grow up and get abused before she's married, if you want your daughter to grow up and be a sap and a sucker, then don't give her a picture of a perfect man. If you give her the picture of a perfect man, she'll expect better. She'll get what she deserves in a man. She won't get abused by men. And that's what you want.
Yeah, and I think I'm doing a good job at that. Demonstrate things that you believe, because it's you can stretch it.
Offense taken, because actually I don't think any crazy things. I think things that make sense from within the text and are consistent, and that's not crazy. Well, and frankly, I'm kind of sick of hearing inconsistent people who cherry pick the text tell me I'm crazy. Okay, so can we have a reasonable conversation?
I apologize for using the word crazy, but hopefully you can understand why I would use that word, Richard. I mean, from my perspective,
I'm willing to admit I'm extremely fringe. If you want to use the word fringe, I'm okay with that, because that's actually true. You could say it's an eccentric view. That's fine.
That's a better word.
The way the Hebrew language works, it can. If you want to decipher it yourself without it being in context, you can have a very eccentric view. It allows for that, but the Greek doesn't.
Yes, the Greek is pretty straightforward. Yes,
very specific. Yes,
but if a person reads it as if it were spoken by God in Greek, and we know it wasn't, okay? But if they read the Greek that way in the literal Greek without taking into consideration the cultural differences between the Greek and the Jew, and the Jewish idioms and their expressions, if you don't consider that, then what you have is a very bad translation that's kind of overly literal.
Actually, I don't necessarily think that's true, because for like the Septuagint, I had this conversation earlier today, an argument about the word darkness, and someone was trying to say that the word used for Hebrew in darkness was another variant of the word, which was including ignorance as metaphor.
That's true. They were right.
Yeah, they were right, but the word that in context didn't include that, although they tried to make the text say that. Although I did point out to them that even in the Greek, they would have the point if the same word was used, because mind you, they were using from the Hebrew. I think it was in the Psalms, so that's Hebrew. But
it would,
I said,
if you go to the
Septuagint, if you go to the Septuagint, and then you check in the Greek of the Psalms, and you find out if that same word in Greek means darkness and includes the part of ignorance, which there is two Greek words that are totally different. One's in ignorance, one doesn't include ignorance.
That's right.
And again, if those words match up, the Greek is going to line up exactly as the Hebrew lines up. It's not going to lie to you. The Greek context is going to matter.
Breathe,
so anyone who says that the Greek context doesn't matter is lying. And that's all I wanted to say.
Take
the word is check.
Hold up. He was objecting to something. He was objecting to something I said. Taylor,
he left.
Yeah, he does that because he's a busy guy.
Well, he actually, honestly, guys, he just, I have an answer for you now, Richard, because he just reminded me. The reason why I hold to this belief also is because the Septuagint was public. I mean, they used the Septuagint 300 years right before Christ. So he could, so in this sense, I think that he was actually quoting the Septuagint possibly.
Yeah, but there's something still being neglected there. Okay. What would you say if I said that Oz interpreted one of your love letters for you and he wrote it in his special Oz language, would you trust that? Do you think your lover's going to get your original message? Choose a popular Aaron Raw. If this is ridiculous. If you had Aaron, whatever, I don't give a shit. I got no respect for that guy. Anyway, okay. Would you trust Aaron Raw to translate into his private language a letter that you had written to your wife and him to deliver that and then her to understand what you meant? Well, dude, that's like twice removed. It's not a good plan. Okay, so yeah, we don't have better than in some cases the Greek, but that doesn't mean that the Greeks weren't talking to Jews and Christians to get the words. They were, right? So now you have Christian and Jewish secretism and their propriety and their pride and keeping others out when you talk about the Greek translations. So it's not completely fair what you just said there, I think.
No,
That's just my opinion.
You're attacking like the weakest. Like if
Well,
I say,
it's
hey,
all a
I'm
presumption. You know, it's just I'm just trying to express a possibility in something that I see. I'm not saying it's true. I mean,
I get it.
We're all here because we don't have a direct connection with God, and we're discussing it. Like, I think that is a burden. I think I was given a bigger burden than most. I don't get this goody two shoe feeling that some of these Christians have. Like, I don't know how they sometimes walk around like they're stoned or something, like they're connected with the presence of God. I don't know. I wasn't given that gift, but I think that Jesus did experience that same burden. That was part of the extremity, like the extremes that God went to for us.
It was a pretty tough day for him. I mean, he got his ass kicked. He was carrying heavy stuff. He walked a long way. If he was tired, couldn't pray, I'll forgive him that.
He had a separation from his father.
Yeah, you get your ass beat for about 8 hours and see how you're doing in prayer.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, dude.
I'm just saying it might be a little distracting for the guy, you know.
I got a side question.
Go ahead.
For demolished doctrine, what is that red thing? Is that like supposed to represent a pomegranate? I'm just asking. I don't really know.
Actually, pomegranate's in the text too. No, this is a universal representation of about halfway through the whole Revelation or end times, depending on what religion have different names. But every religion that I've looked into has this expression, and this is where the ancestors live.
That's fucking Dragon Ball, Richard.
It is also in Dragon Ball. You're right.
The Dragon Ball.
But this, will you stop? Do I come on here and like make fun of the fact that you think that the Old Testament God is schizophrenia? Do I make fun of you?
Yes.
No, I try to have serious, respectful conversation with you. I don't make fun of you. Can you please let me finish? So I find this in News Unit. I find this in every religion around the planet that I've looked into. It's in Hinduism. It's in Native American cultures. It's in the Bible. It's in Aboriginal Australia, and everywhere I look.
Richard collected the Dragon Balls. He searched far and wide trying to make a whip.
You know what that's about? That's about collecting the 7 spirits of God. I wouldn't laugh that hard if I were you.
I won't, because I know what you're capable of now.
Is there some name for that shape thing or whatever besides what you just explained? Because I've never seen it.
It's chapter 4 of the book of Revelation, an underbelly view instead of the side view. In the book, it's described in like looking at it from the side, but this would be from directly underneath of it. The name of it is Heaven.
So that's a representation of heaven?
Yeah.
Is that a hookah pipe, Taylor?
No, I don't smoke.
No.
What the fuck am I, Muslim? It's my vape right plugged into my laptop.
He's recharging his vape, man.
Yeah. No, but Richard, like there was like he brought up that the Hebrew choctaw, right? It means darkness and it means ignorance, and it's all the same word. But
right.
like the point is, like if I say like, hey, if I tell Pete, I'm like, hey, Richard speaks Chinese. Go tell him I had to drop everything I was doing, and he tells you that like literally in Chinese. You go, how did Taylor drop what he's doing? That's not even. How could he even carry what he's doing?
How did I speak Chinese?
No, say you did, and I said I had to go because I had to drop what I'm doing and go, and he told you that literally in Chinese. Taylor dropped everything he was doing. All right, that expression doesn't exist in Chinese. So you're sitting there wondering, how did Taylor even carry what he was doing?
Yes, because it would be taken literally in Chinese. Is that your point?
How did the gravity affect what Taylor was doing?
Yeah, I get it. They wouldn't have the same idioms. That's what I was talking about.
All right, so
so you agree with me that the Greek and the Jews and the Christians would not have all the same idioms.
God wouldn't speak to you in this language. God wouldn't do this in that language. The Greek has a different word. The Greek has distinguished between darkness and ignorance.
No, I think you're missing my point, Taylor.
Between walk and flow, where the Hebrew doesn't, because the Hebrew's archaic. Walking and flowing and moving.
Well, I get it now, Richard, because if you believed that the Greek version of the New Testament, what you believe it says in the Old Testament wouldn't work. That's why you take a stand. Right. Okay. Now I get it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I honestly think that's why God had the Septuagint created 300 years before Christ. So we didn't have to deal with that objection. You follow me? I think that God always has an answer for these things.
I follow you. No, I think there's an overall plan that's going to work perfect as it should. I'm not scared at all, but we are trying to sit here and be brothers and sisters and talk to each other and figure out what makes sense. Or at least I think that's what we're doing.
Did you add the moon?
My voice carries to the other room.
Did you? Right. What's the moon looking thing on your heaven?
It's supposed to be the moon.
Flag? It is the moon. Okay, I was just curious. Was it always there?
And yes, it's always been there. I have not changed the painting at all. But yeah, you'll even notice that in your rendering of the moon, I've got the tortoise and the hare there, just like the actual picture.
Your
What are you talking about?
interpretation of it has changed, though, hasn't it, Richard?
In what way? I'm unaware of anything. Going through my notes, I don't find any changes. My memory doesn't seem to change about it.
Well, didn't you believe in 24 different Jesuses or something? And like now you
That would no. Those are included here. Those that I grouped them in 6, so they're easy to count. 4 groups of 6, 24 elders around the throne of God. There it is, the smallest parts of heaven.
Oh, I thought you said you went into monotheism. I thought you were.
It was always monotheistic.
Oh, you don't believe?
I've never been polytheistic my life.
I thought you were pantheistic.
I'm not pantheistic. Ha ha ha! Fun pantheistic. What are you from Mexico or something? California? You're from Southern California, aren't you? With these
I'm from Northern California, buddy.
Yeah, it's not better.
So
That's way better.
It's not better if you're making jokes like that.
12 what, Richard? You said
24.
12.
24 elders around God's throne.
24.
And then the 4 beasts.
How many?
And then,
how many Jesuses?
And then the mercy seat. 23 and then hours.
24 hours in a day.
24 Jesuses?
23 and then hours, yes. 24.
23 Jesuses.
12 disciples.
Not on the same. Don't get confused. We're not talking about one planet here. We're talking about our Father and having several planets. That's what we're talking about here. I'm not talking about Jesus dying. I'm not talking about Jesus dying several times, one person. I'm not talking about it happened 23 times before on this planet. I'm not talking about that.
Wow.
I'm just saying the plan of heaven is like galactic. It's not just this solar system.
Wow, Satanism. Cool story, bro.
It's not Satanism.
He's a Buddhist.
Wow, that's cool, bro. So Satan is back at it again, Tom? My goodness, every time I show up, it's like Satan just shows up right before I get here. How'd that work?
He's not a Satanist, he's a Buddhist.
Richard, are you kidding me? The solar system and planets? Wow, cool, bro.
Yeah, connected
What did you think I said?
Solar system. That's a fascinating story about the planets. Wow, are you Mormon or Planet Kolob or what? What's up?
He's a Buddhist. He likes to do
Do you really?
with the stars.
If you don't mind, Taylor, I wouldn't mind defending myself against this very aggressive person. Is that okay with you?
I just
Taylor?
can't believe I'm listening to this. Like, it's 2023 and we're still listening to people talk about the solar system and planets. Wow.
Wait.
What planet
are you
is
saying
that?
you think
Planet
there are
Kolob?
not?
Planet
Are you
Planet
saying
Kolob? What planet would that be?
Is this your plan just to overtalk?
No, I
Are
just
you
know
Jill?
this is gonna go into a
Right.
disaster because you learned in school about planets. I just hear it comes.
So you're a flat earther, is that right?
Nope, sorry, wrong. Not a flat earther, sorry.
Can you tell us what you believe?
Already having a
Are
seizure.
you?
Welcome to
Don't
the
worry.
demonic possession of the solar
Oh my
system. Here we go.
Are you talking about it?
What do you believe?
P-Town, for God's sakes, man. Are you talking about a dome Earth? I'm
I
trying
don't
to
even
figure
know who
out your
I'm talking
position.
to. This
My name's
isn't the
Richard.
news unit. This isn't the gentleman in the bottom left.
I didn't think it was news
Who is
unit.
this guy?
Could you
This isn't the
respond-
guy with the little thing right there. Which one? Who am I talking to, Tom? Who is this guy? The guy in the far left?
Demolish Doctrine or Richard. I'm not on the far
Wow.
left. You don't know my position.
Demolition Doctrine. Well, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
So I'm
okay.
trying
so
to.
you believe
I'm
in
trying to
everything
ask
the
you
main.
your
So you
position.
believe in what the television tells you. Okay, I got you.
It
That's
depends.
impressive.
Some
yeah.
of it, yes. Some of it.
Yeah, that's impressive. Okay, so pure Satanism. Okay, cool. All right.
So-
there's a thing that
so-
can help you, bro. If you're ever interested in the thing called the Bible, there's all kinds of truth there that can help you with the Satanism you're practicing.
Well, that's interesting. So you
Yeah.
take literally like the 4 horns, the coin, and expressions like that of the that are in the Bible.
The word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing
That's-
even to
that's a
dividing
trope.
Oh, and he
Could
already
you
had a
answer
seizure. He couldn't even
instead?
let me read the Bible. Okay,
You're
wow.
not reading the
Okay,
Bible.
so we have Satan here. Okay, that's cool. Listen, Satan, bro, you're really tough on the internet. You come in many forms. You love your balls. and you love planets and this stuff that the Satanists in
what
power
exactly
teach
is
us to
wrong about
believe in.
planets?
Yeah,
What's
they're called
anti-biblical
stars.
about
Yeah,
planets?
planete means wandering star. Yes, we don't
Yeah,
live on
why
a
is it
wandering
called that?
star. Yes, that's what a planet is.
Why
A
is it
planet is a
called that?
wandering star. Yes, because men called it a planet. It's even in the Bible. It's even described. That's a wandering star. Yes, but you
So
don't
you're
believe
saying
the
they're
Bible.
not? Hold on. Are you saying they're not planets?
No, they are planets. They're wandering stars. What do you think they are? Oh, you saw it on TV, right? So TV showed you
No.
something else, right?
No,
Do you
I'm
like
not
space,
concerned
bro?
with
Do
what's
you
on
watch a lot of
TV.
cool TV shows about outer space?
You know
And
what,
that
Taylor?
makes you
You're
a
right.
guru, right?
This
My
guy's some kind of a
goodness, bro.
joke or something.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
some
the
kind of
joke, right?
extremist.
Yes. Yeah, you watch TV, bro. Cool story, bro.
Demolish. Richard,
Okay.
can I ask him
Richard,
what?
listen to him for a minute, because that word planetos in Greek does mean wandering star.
Yes, I understand that. That's when people thought they were literally stars.
Yes, they literally are stars. That's why the Bible also describes them as stars.
So you
It says, in the
don't
beginning,
believe in
God created the
planets.
heavens and the earth was without form and void. Darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And then at the very end, after he makes the earth, and then he makes the firmament, he makes all these things, then he said he makes the sun and the moon, the stars, right? The sun, the moon, then the stars. The stars are last. You see, yes, the stars are the very last. Once God got done making the most of creation, he saved all the lights and the firmament for last, and they are for signs and seasons. The Bible's the truth, not cartoons on TV given to you by mass murderers who want you to wear skirts and teach you that you can be one of 36 genders. That's the difference, is that I actually defend the word of God, and you think it's okay to believe in balls in outer space, and they're actually planets are wandering stars, because you are so smart now, right? It's 2023. You're so smart. You believe the cartoons on TV, and here you are telling us you're going to go on the internet because you're so smart. You are going to go on the internet and tell us. Just another. Here we go again. The psychosis.
You're just repeating yourself. It doesn't look good.
I'm sorry that you're having
You're just keeping people from responding.
You're just continuously perversely interrupting.
Is that the plan?
You watch things on television, and
you've said that 5
so
times.
Smart, you're now going to tell
You've
us.
said that 3 times.
And repeat to us what your television told you.
You've said that about 4 times.
What your life is about. You are so accomplished. You are now going to repeat.
It's not television. It's television.
That your
That's the
television
new. I found it.
That's what you have to offer in society.
It's not television. It's television.
I hope you're enjoying your masturbation, but that's all this is you. It's just you jacking yourself off. That's all you're doing.
More perversions, exactly. More perversions from the Satanists that love.
I looked into the deeper etymology of the word television. It actually comes from television.
Religion, because this is what they worship. They worship a child abuse.
I was trying to tell him that, but I guess
from their slave masters.
That's all I wanted to tell him. When you get around to it, tell EXO that television is television.
People in charge.
When you get around to it someday.
You'll be forcing the mark of the beast onto us. You'll be pointing us out, ratting us out.
Nobody's going to force the mark of the beast on me.
Outer space system, this outer space cartoon that you weirdos believe in, is literally the #1 child abuse religion on Earth, and you came here to repeat what the television taught you. Wow! Congratulations, weirdo.
EXO, it's not
so good. I'm about to piss in a beer can.
Television.
Hey,
it's
Praise,
television.
I'll be right back.
Yes, news. Please
right
talk
back,
so we can at least change it up a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah, it's television. I looked into the deeper etymology. It's not television anymore. It's television.
I like it. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. Good enough.
The Bible says, "Blessed be the peacemaker," and I'm going to be the peacemaker. All right.
Well, you're better than me. Go ahead.
Richard's not a Satanist. He's a Buddhist, and a weird.
So I was right. Satanist. Yep.
He's not that was easy. He's not a Satanist.
Yep. They're all Satanists, bro. No, you're preaching that perverted, satanic, demon possession, weirdo, outer space, television, cartoon beliefs. That's all Satanism, bro. Nothing to do with any peace. It's all self-worship. Look at me. Look how cool I am. I'm now going to go on to praise I am and preach what the television teaches me. It's just relying on the Satanism that we're already fed. It really is a perversion. This is that we are literally in the most perverted dark ages throughout all of history. We are in the beginning of Revelation, and we're dealing with 2 types of weirdos. One type of weirdo preaches the outer
This guy
space
is
religion,
denying
and
all
the
of outer
other type
space.
outer
You
space.
believe that, Mark?
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, what does Jesus says? I tell you of
Unfortunately,
earthly
yeah.
things and you believe not. How can I tell you of
It's
heavenly
a pretty
things?
impressive
And
range. I
now
give him that,
we have
you know.
Mark
I get
here,
an
and
F
now
for
Mark is
peacemaking.
going to come here so he can
Yeah.
hide from his evolution religion and tell us more about the outer space child abuse
Yeah,
religion. Go ahead,
not a
Mark, take it
religion,
away.
not a religion, buddy. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you
You
don't
saw it on
believe
TV,
in
Mark. No, you're
planets,
already
even though
hiding.
we
Yes,
can
it is
see
a
them,
religion.
like,
You
in
saw it on
telescopes and
TV,
everything.
and you feel smart because magical balls in outer
Hey,
space,
here come the
they
atheists for some
turned into
fellowship.
chia pets. Yeah, they
Yeah.
turned into chia
Yeah.
pets and
How
grew
are you doing,
monkeys. And here you
everybody?
We
got,
love
here you are,
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
man.
Mark.
He
You're a
made
monkey on a
Darth look
ball.
pretty
Everybody.
stupid. I give you respect for that, Mark. Much
Look,
respect
look,
there.
you know, I'll respect
Evolution,
anyone that
Mark. Let's get
respects
to your
me,
religion.
so
Stop hiding from it,
sure.
Mark.
Well, it's not a religion. That's the thing.
Yes, just give me.
So,
Listen,
yeah.
I will retire. I will never show up again until, of course, Tom wants me to. I will never
So,
be here again.
what
If you
was
just
your
give me
name
one
again?
example
I
of
don't even know who
adaptation in
this
all of
is,
nature,
like,
Mark,
frankly.
give me one example of
Okay.
adaptation in nature,
Sure.
and I'm out of here right now. Go ahead.
Sure, there was a bacteria that lived in a effluent of a nylon factory that developed the ability.
Oh, a
to
nylon
process
factory's
and-
nature. Wow.
and-
You need to see a psychologist, Mark.
Nylon.
Wow,
nylon
holy
is
shit.
an-
Now they're making, wow,
nylon
Sparrow and Olive,
isn't
they're making,
actually
God makes nylon factories out in the forest
a
now, guys. Did
naturally
you know that?
occurring,
Wow, I didn't know that.
naturally
I didn't know that
occurring,
nylon factories worked in
material.
nature. That's
So the thing
amazing,
is- the
Mark.
thing is
Wow.
that
She's
it
got
was
legs,
by the
our
brain
legs
nature.
fit your
Wow.
legs. They hug you,
Did
they hold
somebody
you, they
lace
never
your
let you
methamphetamine
go.
with crack? Did somebody put shrooms in your coffee? Wow, now the nylon
Wow.
factories are existing in the Zimbabwe
this is called
desert,
an ad
apparently,
hominem,
guys. Wow, that's
usually
impressive.
used when
Mark,
somebody
do you want to
has
maybe,
no argument,
Mark, just give
nothing
yourself
to
one
say,
chance to
all
pull your
you've got to do is
retarded head
just
out of your
slow
ass and try to
crap, because
readjust
they've
so
got
that you
nothing
don't
to say.
sound
This guy's
like a
got nothing
complete
to say.
retarded,
Listen to him.
schizophrenic,
Listen to
psychopathic
this guy. He's
sycophant
got
that is
nothing to
claiming
say
that
except
nylon
to talk.
factories exist
Do you
in
guys
nature.
have
Do you
to
want to
listen
give
to
it one
this
more shot,
constantly?
Mark? One more try.
Who actually listens
Take your
to
best
this?
shot. One more try.
Seriously.
So, Mark, again,
So-
give us
so
one example of
The thing is
adaptation
that the
in
difference
nature,
between
Mark. Nature means
natural
that's
and
not modified
artificial,
by
if you
man.
didn't
Give
know,
me one
which you
example
obviously
of
don't know because
adaptation
you don't
in
listen
nature, and
to
try not to be
anything
like a
anybody
retard.
says.
And I'll be on my way.
The
You'll
thing
never
is, the
see me
difference
again, Mark. Go ahead,
between
take your best shot.
natural as opposed to artificial, because you obviously don't know the
Okay, so
difference
no
between
attempt, so
natural
nothing
and
at all. Can't even
artificial,
make an attempt.
is that
So
natural
again,
is
you are so
outside of
brain dead and
human
so retarded by your
interaction and
sycophant,
intention,
psychopathic
while
evolution religion
artificial is set
that
up
you
in a
think
lab
there's
with an
nylon
intention to do
factories in
something.
nature, Mark.
So,
Wow,
so
what a
when you
good
go
little
out to
boy you've turned
nature,
into.
there
Wow,
may
you
be
watch
like a
cartoons your whole
campfire,
life.
but you don't
You
say,
have
hey,
nothing
it's
to
not
show
nature,
for it, and now you're
it's an
teaching people
artificial
that
lab.
nylon factories exist in
And he doesn't
nature.
even
Do you want to
listen.
try again? Let's give it one more try, little Marky. Give me one more
Is this
try,
like the
so you
most
don't have to be a
toxic person
retard
in
that
the
just looks like a
universe?
shit
You
stain
guys
on
like
everybody's calendar.
look for the
You
most
just give us
toxic
one
people in
one
the
little
universe?
example, Mark, of
It's crazy.
adaptation in nature, and then I'll leave. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, you want in nature.
Yes,
Yes?
that matters. That's where your evolutionism religion would take place. It
So-
would have to be outside of man's abilities,
Uh-huh.
outside of man's interference, Mark. Yes, is that too much to ask for evidence for
So-
your religion? Is that really a
so-
hard task for you?
Yeah, so this is the kind of really dishonest stuff that
Oh,
theists
there we
do,
go.
because as
Right
soon
away,
as
he
you
ran
say,
away from his life. Oh,
as
poor
soon
little
as you
Marky.
say,
That's
this
what
is
happens.
in
See, praise I
nature,
am. You
then
see,
they
Sparrow,
say,
you
oh,
see
well, I
that?
want to
All
see
you
it
have
in the
to
lab.
do is ask
And if
them for
they say,
evidence for their
oh,
own
well,
belief system, and
yeah, see, I can't even talk.
gone
I can't
bye-bye
even
like
talk.
the Roadrunner.
Yeah,
See
see,
you
this
later.
guy's
It's
just a
that
troll.
easy. They're scared to
Are you a
death of
flat
their own
earther?
religion.
Are you a
He
flat
can't even
earther? Are you a
attempt
flirt? Are
to
you a flirt?
answer the question, Tom. It's that easy. He is so scared to death of his own religion, he has to hide from it. He can't even
So this
attempt to
is
give
the
you an example. I'm not even
stupidity of
asking
a
for
flat
evolution.
earther.
All I'm
Like
asking for is
pointing at other
adaptation
people.
in nature, and he's
Okay.
scared to death.
So-
It is that easy,
No,
guys.
I was putting out something that when I do present something
Yep,
from
you won't
nature,
even.
you're
You
going to say,
can't.
hey, I
You
want to
can't
see it
even
in that.
attempt to present
So
anything.
the
You're just
adaptation
another
for
coward hiding
koalas
from
to
reality to
yeah, if you
justify
let
your
me
evolution,
finish, if you let me
LGBT,
finish, you
36
won't even
gender
let me
lifestyle,
finish.
like all the other
So
pervert
EXO
weirdos
is this
that believe in
EXO?
evolution,
Is this
Mark.
this guy
There is no
EXO I've heard
surprise.
about
There is
that
no
like is just
mystery.
the
You
biggest
need your
idiot in
evolution and
the
religion
world?
to justify
It
the
is, isn't it?
sycophants
We're up to
and
Sex,
36
oh my
genders
other
already?
God.
weirdos that need the
Wow.
evolution
Oh
religion. You have
my.
to beg the
Wow.
fact
You
that you have to hide from
failure.
reality and beg reality to be
pretty
wrong.
smart.
Deny all of biology. Deny
I
the
don't
fact
know
that
what
all
either of
biology
you are
depends on it.
saying.
Every living
Yeah, I know.
organism
He won't
has
stop
to
talking.
and
He
must,
just
from the very beginning, by necessary antecedent, already have the ability to survive from step one. You have to deny that and go,
So-
I just imagine monkeys coming out of the pond scum.
So
That's what you
koalas
do. That's
being
why you have no
able
claim
to
for
adapt
adaptation, let
to
alone evolution. I could give
digest
you 1,000
eucalyptus
chances
oil.
and you
Yeah,
would fail
so
every time. It's that
koalas
easy because I've been
adapting
doing this
to
for 15 years,
digesting
and
eucalyptus oil.
evolutionists
Yeah,
are
so
like walking on
koalas
dead ants. It's like
adapting
somebody took an
to
ant
be
farm, lit it
able
on
to
fire, and just walked outside and crushed them after
eucalyptus
they were
oil.
already
He
dead.
doesn't
That's what
listen.
evotards are. You are literally nothing in the scope of the entire
Koalas
history of the existence of the
evolving
world
to
under
be
the heavens.
able
You will never be
to
remembered. Nobody will ever
digest
remember who you are
eucalyptus
because you
oil.
can't even attempt to defend your evolutionism pseudoscience. You can't even attempt. Every time I ask these people for any evidence, they immediately say something
listen.
retarded, just like Mark does, and now tells us that a factory, a nylon factory, exists in nature. And then after they get done having that seizure, then they run away from the question and completely hide from their own claim. And that's what he's going to do the rest of his life. You can't even make a claim, Mark. It's that easy.
Okay.
You're a failure. You're an absolute
Yep,
failure.
it's that
No,
easy.
Koalas
You can't
have
even attempt. It's just
evolved
that
to
easy, Tom. It's like
digest
stepping on
eucalyptus oil.
cockroaches.
That
That's
is
what I feel like. This
something
is
that
way
has
too.
happened
I'm just going
completely
to
in
take
nature. And
I'm gonna take
koalas
a
coming
nap.
off of
I'm
it.
going to
Yes,
take
I
a
can't
nap.
even
Yeah,
talk.
I'm going to. This is way too easy. I could do this in my sleep. Who's next?
Yeah, so koalas didn't have the ability to digest
Yeah, you met the koala's parents and it didn't have the same ability.
Yes.
I'd like to
Bro,
see some evidence.
shut the
Take your
fuck
time.
up. You guys
No,
both
bitch,
sound
I
like
ain't gonna
little
shut the fuck
children.
up.
You sound
I'll
like a
slap the
little
shit out of you,
child,
faggot.
dude.
Get the hell out of there. You can kick me off this channel
you
or
sound
shut this
real,
little
you
do
sound
nothing
real
faggot
cool,
up
dude.
right now. Nobody cares about what you
Homophobia,
say.
man. Cool,
I'm
dude.
here
Go
to
ahead,
protect
Mark.
the creation of Elohim. No, the creation of Elohim is going to get protected.
No,
Either
but
you
you're a
defend
shitty
your
fucking
evolution
preacher,
religion
man.
or I will stomp a mud
suck.
hole in your ass.
doesn't shut
You can
up.
take
This
a
is
chance right
insane.
now and
You're a
defend your
shitty
religion
preacher.
or you can eat shit.
You're
Either way,
terrible.
I win. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure
You're a
that was
shitty
what
preacher.
Jesus said.
Nothing.
Eat
You have
shit.
nothing
Yeah,
to show
no,
for
that's what he
exactly.
said.
Scared
Yeah,
to death
no,
of
I'm
his own
sure I
kind.
read that in
That's
the
right. When
Bible.
you ask for
You know,
evidence for evolution, Tom, they have to bring up Jesus. That's right, buddy. No. Jesus can't save you. Sorry, you don't believe in Jesus.
How do
Jesus
you know?
saves me.
How
You
do
are
you know?
scared to death of your own claim. It is that easy. It is
So he thinks
2023.
he knows
And all you got to do to
everything,
destroy
including what
evolution is
Jesus
ask
will
the
do. What a
Evotard for a
failure.
claim.
Yeah,
And
man.
boom,
Fucking
he's
shitty
gone. It's
preaching over
that
good points.
easy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to defend the word of God and his creation, and no twerp,
You're defending nothing.
spineless coward on the
You're
internet
just
is even
talking
going to
so
send even the
Right.
you're
basics
just
of
talking
how
so other
biology
people
works.
can't
Thanks.
talk. That's not defending anything. If you
Yeah,
just talk
defend-
so other
Nothing to
people
show for.
can't,
Still
you're
can't even
not
attempt to
defending
answer. Just
anything.
like you will fulfill
Yeah.
continuously. You will fulfill every prediction I make. You can't even attempt to answer the question. So who's next,
Sure.
Tom? Who am I going to crush next?
Okay, so koalas have adapted the ability to digest eucalyptus oil because there
That's
were
a
no
lie, retard. They already had the ability.
No, see,
all
I can't
koalas
even
already have the
talk.
ability to digest the
What
food that
a
they eat.
loser.
All koalas
What
are
a loser.
born with the ability
He can't
already
let me
do
speak
everything
because
they
he
can
knows
already
that,
do.
that
You've
I'll
never
say
met
something he
parents
won't
of
like.
koalas that couldn't
Fucking
eat
dope.
eucalyptus leaves or anything else that they eat. You've never. That's
Uh-huh.
another perverted lie
So
from
where
a
were the
Satanist that needs to
eucalyptus trees
justify his
coming off the
perverted
ark?
satanic
Where were the
lifestyle.
eucalyptus
Every
trees
single
coming off
living
the ark?
organism
Where was the
already has the
eucalyptus
ability to
trees in the
survive
Middle
in
East
its
coming off the
environment.
ark?
And if it
Where
doesn't,
were the
it dies.
eucalyptus
Both
trees
options
coming off
remove
the ark?
adaptation, let alone
Where were the
evolution.
eucalyptus
Every
trees in
single
the
part of
Middle East
biology
coming off the ark?
disproves adaptation.
You're not going to
let
answer my
alone
question. You're not
evolution.
going to
I'm
answer
sorry,
my
you don't believe in
question.
reality. You
You
don't believe
are
in
a
science.
failure.
That's why
You
you're
won't
lying
answer
to us because
anything.
you've never seen koalas that couldn't
Failure.
digest eucalyptus. All koalas
Failure.
already have the
Okay,
ability,
we're
so
gonna
you
take
have to
time
perversely
responses
lie
here,
to
okay?
justify
I
your
love
sick,
the devil
mass
Arrow. That
murder
would be
religion
fantastic.
of evolution. You are a perverted criminal, and I would slap the faggot shit out of
I
you
mean,
in real
I am
life for lying to me
Australian.
like that. You
Dude,
Oh,
pervert
really? Some
retard.
dude.
Get a
xenophobia
life.
there.
Who's
That's
next, Tom?
Listen,
interesting.
stop
Yeah.
throwing up the fucking name of God like it's a
No,
gang sign,
this
calling
little
people
twerp here needs to
fucking
shut his
words.
mouth.
No,
Who's
shut
next?
the
Who's going
fuck
to
up,
perversely
you
lie to me
blaspheming.
now
No,
about God's
shut the
creation and
fuck.
tell me that he
Dude,
met the
I
parents of
would
animals
beat
that
your
need
ass.
this
I would
capability
beat your
that
ass
its children
so
have. Who's going to lie to me next so I can throw his ass out too?
No one's lying to you. It's if there are no eucalyptus
This
trees
is
on
just
Listen,
pathetic.
Earth,
This
Praise,
is a
why are
complete
you
retard
muting
lying
me?
again. Yes,
Praise,
you've
why are
never
you
met
muting me and
any
not this other
koalas that
fucker?
didn't already already have that
Why are
ability.
you
so now
muting
you're
me?
stuck perversely lying to justify justify the satanic religion. You are a Satanist
fuck
weirdo
this guy.
trying to justify your lifestyle. You're fulfilling every claim
Oh,
I
what
make.
the
You're
hell?
ferociously
This guy's
sexual.
like, this is
All
hilarious.
muted.
already
I don't
has
even
Is that
know
why
why
you
I got
can't mute
ever
him,
in all of
Praise?
history
Yeah, I
had
got
a
muted,
man
dude,
animal that
multiple
didn't have the
times. I
capability
don't know
of
what
its
the fuck
children.
you're talking
Whenever an animal or life form or spore or mold or
Dude, this
fungus
guy's
or
a
plant
joke.
or
He's a
amphibian, reptile,
blasphemer. He's a
mammal already has the
scumbag. He's a
ability that's
fucking
going to pass
fool.
on to its
Just shut the
children,
fuck
and you've
up.
never
Shut
seen
the fuck
anything other
up.
than that. You've
Just
never even
shut the
experienced
fuck
anything
up,
other than
dude.
that. All
Dude, don't
creatures
drop the name
already have those
Elohim. What a bunch
abilities,
of
so you are going to
condemnations.
continue
Is
to
this what?
perversely lie
You dropped the
and make
name
up
of
stories
God.
to
You think you're
justify the
fucking
satanic
representing
religion. I
God
want
right
the
now?
audience to know
You
that
think you're
evolution is
representing
so
God
dead.
right
I
now,
didn't even
you
find an
fucking
example of
fool, dude?
Is this
adaptation.
a
I will put
flurfer
my
on
life on
crack?
it. It is too easy.
Yeah,
I
he
could
is.
do
Dude,
this
what
all
a
day.
comedian
I
act.
could
I haven't
literally
seen you in
train
ages.
my
How
cat
you
to
doing, mate?
crush these
Gentlemen.
evotards.
Hey,
It has never
You
been
think
easy.
you're
They don't even have a
representing
claim.
God right now, you fucking fool, dude? You're a
What was
comedian
what
and a
was
Yep,
God's
another
joke.
name
retard. Yeah, you're
before
just
You're
nobody
gonna
Israel
cares what you have
pay.
to say.
human?
Sorry,
You're
I
gonna
would just
pay.
squash you like a roast
Listen,
in reality.
friend.
You have nothing
Listen,
to show
friend.
for
You're
it.
gonna
Is
pay for
anybody
every
going to try to
fucking word
defend
you
their
Hey
say.
guys, the
religion? Yeah,
atheist
well,
is
hide from
laughing his
religion
ass off
retards
at you
commit mental
guys.
suicide.
You're gonna pay for every
Well,
word he spoke, fool.
not at everybody, just
Yep,
at the
that's
one
it. So I'm just
person
going
that
to
won't let
continuously
anybody
listen
speak.
to retards commit mental suicide and hide from
Yeah.
reality. They don't
Yeah,
even
that's
have a
you,
claim time.
dude.
So is
That's
this the best we
you.
can come up with,
That's
Tom?
you.
3 or 4
You're
dipshit do
projecting.
nothing bitches
You're
that can't
Yeah, you're right. He's
defend
projecting.
any
laughing. You
part
got to
of their
represent
religion.
Christ
This
better so
little
we can look
twerps
at
here. I'm
you.
just
Well, I want to be
Your
like
own
him.
Tom, is this the best we can
retardation.
come up with? Thanks.
You're projecting, brother.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing
That's
to
it.
show.
That's
Any
Just
of
all
more
you
you
guys
bullshit.
know
Just more
God's
bitches.
name
Yeah, you don't even
before
have your
he
bro.
exposed himself
Get a
to the
life. You look like the
Israelites?
coronavirus,
Well,
bro. Maybe
I
get
mean,
some, big boy
I've
pants
talked to
on
a
and
lot
stop
of
wearing diapers.
Christians,
Thanks.
Hey, you're a
and
joke,
sort of
man. Come meet me in
Congratulations, you
person.
look like the
there's
coronavirus. I'm
You're
proud
a
of you.
fucking
like
joke.
some
Look at
people
look at
that
this
are
guy. Here we
just
got. I mean, this
they
is
don't
fun. I
let
could do
anybody
this all
speak
day. I
because
mean,
they're
you could
so
just give me a warning,
insecure.
Tom, if you're gonna kick me, because I
This
understand
guy
that we
is
can. We
probably
gotta
the
let
most
we gotta let the do
insecure
nothing
person
pissant
I have
queers
ever
talk,
met,
to
and
keep
I've
the
met
mainstream
after
going. But I think the audience would rather have
like
me here. But it's
seriously.
up to you, Tom.
Yeah,
Is there
Mark's got
anybody
a
that can
point.
even
Mark
challenge
has
this
a
Christian?
point.
Anybody that even wants to make a claim for their disgusting,
Bro,
perverted
shut
evolution
the
religion? Just
fuck
one
up.
person to
Like,
try to even
stop
attempt to
speaking.
defend it,
Bro,
please.
just stop speaking for like 10 seconds. Just stop.
No,
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
am
want to
become
listen
the
to anybody.
coronavirus.
You know,
Just-
Praise,
just
we were
stop
having a
speaking.
conversation
Destroy
before
a-
this.
Fucking
Of a
idle
broken
talk.
bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tori.
Crazy.
You've
Anybody
been
else?
This is too
speaking for
much.
20 minutes straight, bro. Just shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Like,
Great
This
idle
is just
talk.
pathetic,
Praise.
Tom. This is the best we can come up with. Like, these are. I mean, I could
Oh,
I
dear.
could go to a salon and meet a couple of
Great
gay
nonsense.
guys that could do more than this, Tom. This is pathetic.
I think
Praise
you're
God.
obsessed with
Praise God.
homosexuality.
This is just
Dude,
sad.
dude,
Get out of
if
here.
you
Unbelievable.
notice, wait, guys,
No
if you
wonder. I
notice,
mean, you can now
no,
we
no,
can
no,
tell
listen,
why
notice,
there's so many
notice.
lesbians
You're the only
in
one.
society
No,
now,
listen,
because these are the
listen, my friend,
Praise.
my friend. You brought up homosexuality at least like 10 times now by yourself.
Yeah,
the only
I
one.
see it
So do you think?
somewhere. Yeah, closet.
Hey, Tom, am I going to
Put
be
out-
muted? You decided to mute me?
Someone put out the
Is that the
flurper
final answer,
crack
guys?
pipe,
I'm muted now.
please.
Is that the final answer, Tom?
I don't know. I think
I am
some
not
people.
the body.
Let's hear the audience.
Muting me again.
If the audience
Praise
wants
is
me to mute, let's
muting
go.
me,
So
but
I
put a
am
number
not the
7.
body.
Okay,
I am
the
not
audience,
even the
let's have a
mind.
vote, Tom. So if the
I
audience
am
wants me
not
to
the
be
body.
muted, I want you
I
to
am
type
not
in
even the
666.
mind.
If you want me to be muted, type in 666. Okay, make it
Bro,
really
you're
easy
the
for you.
homosexual.
I'm
If
typing
you
in
want me to continue to
777.
talk and crush
That's
Satan,
actually
type in
Sanskrit.
777,
Sanskrit
and I
is
will
much
continue to
older than
crush absolutely
Praise, you
criminals.
muted me like 6 times.
Sanskrit
You haven't
language
muted
is
this guy
thousands years
one
older
time.
than Hebrew.
How are you gonna mute us all, but you're not gonna mute this guy who's literally? All right, well, whoever has privilege to mute
Hey
us.
Tom, can I just get another KJV light?
And I'm just telling you, this guy is the only one.
Every time I try to mute someone and try to get order in here, nobody. You just
Nobody's
unmute
gonna get
yourself.
muted.
I do.
Like that.
Every one of you.
Well, I'm just saying, this guy is the
Every
only one
one
who's
of
been
you.
speaking the whole damn time. Like,
Yeah, he's a 1-star preacher.
and he's the only one who's accused. He
You know,
accused
all
of
I
us of
know
just being
when it
gay.
comes to
We're all
everything is I am
faggots.
not the body.
We're
I
all
am not even the
faggots,
mind.
apparently, like.
All right, go back to the koalas.
The Sanskrit
maybe he's
language is
projecting his own
thousands
darkness.
years older, thousands years older than the Hebrew
Go back
or
to the
the
koalas.
Aramaic. It's thousands years older. Look it up.
Go back to the koalas.
You just Google it?
How do a
Just
fucking
Google
koala
it. Sanskrit is thousands years older than the Israelite language. And the three names of God in Sanskrit is Bogaratova, Sangaratova,
stories that never
Sangavina.
occurred because they
Also the Holy Trinity, but it's in
these things
Sanskrit.
doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 hour an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, feet that are swift to mischief, and heart that devises wicked imagination, and a false witness that speaketh lies, and those who sow discord.
Mark Reed, you are muted right now, buddy.
Easy, low. I can hear him.
It's 2023. I need Christians.
Oh, I can't hear Mark.
Richard, that almost looks like a flag. Like you could make a flag out of that.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, your mic.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Mark.
Hey, Richard, I'll buy one of your flags if you make it and sell it. I'll buy it.
Thank you.
So the koala has a
He just
symbiotic relationship with a bacteria. So the bacteria live in their gut, and they've adapted to break down eucalyptus, and then the koala uses that, and then has adapted to process the waste product. So it's a symbiotic relationship that they've adapted to with this bacteria.
But a baby koala eats shit until it builds up an immunity to collect eucalyptus leaves.
No, the bacteria is passed on from the mother to the child in form of
The child eats
pap.
shit because it can't.
No,
eat
it's not. No, it's not that. It's not crap. It's a special thing that they produce.
Why don't the baby koala eat the eucalyptus leaves?
Because they have to have the bacteria from their mother, so they've adapted to produce this stuff that then passes on the bacteria.
They eat shit from the mother. They eat mother's shit until they build up an immunity to keep eucalyptus leaves.
No, they don't build up an immunity.
You know the
And why don't they eat eucalyptus leaves like the mother?
Pap in Sanskrit
Well, it's because they need the pap to be able to do it.
No, but if the mom eats eucalyptus leaves,
he's
straight,
still going big bad mama, but
koalas are addicted. It's like a
volume's low.
Yes, they're adapted to it. Yes, they're adapted
They're
to
addicted
eucalyptus
to it.
leaves.
But the baby can't eat it.
Well, it's the only thing that they can process. They've lost the
Baby can't eat the
ability.
eucalyptus leaves. It'll die.
Yeah, but they've lost the ability to eat other foods. They can't just eat whatever anymore. They can't
Because
just
the
eat
parents
berries.
don't
and
look at
nuts.
it.
Praise, turn him up just up a little
No,
bit.
no, it's
You had
nothing
another
to do with
seizure
being
again? Are you
addicted.
okay?
That's
Your
like-
face looks like
that's
you're
not
having
all
a
the way.
seizure right
Not
now.
all
Can
the
you
way. Not all the
blink
way.
if you're gonna fall down?
Just a
Blink,
little
Marcus.
bit. Oh, Praise, please.
Are you okay, buddy? Someone called 911. Marcus had 3 seizures in the last 5 minutes.
It's a
Talk to me,
little
continue,
bit,
please.
little lower, so
No
we can
shitting
still hear him, but
no
we can
shitting
hear
Chris
over
Evans.
him
The
because it's
corona
hilarious.
guy finally shut up. What's he doing?
There we go. That's good.
Oh dear, yeah. Wow. Does this guy think that like if he just talks enough and nobody can say anything, then somehow he's won something?
Oh, that's
I don't know.
yeah.
perfect right
That's how
now.
it works.
It's
Yeah.
animated, seriously. Wow.
That's how it works in his mind.
Yeah.
dude.
It's called methamphetamines.
Yeah, I think he's currently
Something like
threatening
that.
to beat my skull in or something. Because that's
This
always
is
when you can
hilarious.
tell you've won an argument is when you're threatening to, kill
Exo, your
someone.
volume is down.
No,
Your
don't
mic
tell
is
him
down,
that.
Exo. I
Don't
can't hear you.
Why
as
would
good.
you tell him?
Don't tell him that.
Gosh, Dave, come on.
Praise is doing that.
If
Well,
this
I
is
like
the
loud and
best-
clear, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Practice.
other
We
people
don't,
like
not
having
that.
a conversation.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that too.
other people. Okay, yeah. Well, there's
Perfect
other
right
people, and
now.
there's the XO. So we can do it my
Oh.
way, and we can crush Satan all day long,
turn
or we
him
can
down
do
a
it your
little
way
bit
and just
more.
let Satan get away with murder.
You're
I
not
prefer
you're
to
not
just crush
crushing Satan.
you know,
You're
continue-
just being
But
rude.
we'll,
That's
let's
all
ask
you're
the
doing.
audience again.
Yeah, you need practice.
Yeah, they want the
gotta practice
dumpster
shit
fire.
there.
You're just a dumpster fire. That's all you are.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you have nothing to show for, and nobody wants to listen to you. Is there anything else?
Well, I can do without the dumpster fire, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's kind
Mark,
of
you've done a
there's
great
no
job.
point
Mark,
to
I got to
it.
be honest with you. Of all the panel
Um,
members, you've done the best because you've proven how psychotic Evo-tards are. You're not only brain dead, you're psychotically demon possessed, and now you're claiming losing things is how we gain it. I couldn't have asked for a
possessed.
better
Tell more.
example, Mark. I got to be honest.
Who am I
You are the
possessed by
greatest
again?
example
No,
I
but
could have
you-
asked
you-
for
you're
because
fucking
you have proven
shit
the
up, bro.
psychosis
You-
of
you're
people
fucking
that
one
believe
trick
in
pony,
such a
half-ass
perverted religion.
preaching.
It turns them into
It's not
literal
working.
walking retards with nothing to show.
Bro,
for.
who
You're
am I
gonna
possessed
die
by?
Praise,
on
he
your
was at the
gravestone. It's gonna say,
perfect
"Here lies
volume.
Mark."
Why did you
We
ruin
kept
it?
losing it for millions of years, and that's how we gained it all. Wow, what
Bro,
a
I just
wonderful life
mute
that
your
guy
ass.
had.
Bro, I just mute your ass. None of us want like. I wouldn't be
great
friends with
background
you.
noise.
Like if we were in
noise.
person, bro, if we were in person and you were talking like this, I'd beat the fuck out of you. Like,
He should be in.
He's like a
He should
Sonic
be an
producer.
this shit
app.
is a
He wouldn't
joke.
do it
dude.
in person. Let's face it. He wouldn't do it in person because people would
No,
drag
he
him
wouldn't
away
do
to
it
the
in
crazy.
person.
No, because people would drag him away to a crazy house. Let's be
He's a
honest.
bitch.
Hey.
You know, like,
with you. Let's see. We
It's
also
quite
have the
impressive,
guy with the
actually.
little flame
he
thing.
sounds
Weird way.
insane.
Dude,
Like if he was doing this in public, they would send people to take him away and get help.
Well,
No,
we're
you're right.
not exactly because we're not in Australia, Mark. We're in America. We just let them go be crazy.
That's true. In America, we don't help our crazy people.
Yeah.
Judge, I was telling you.
Bro, like you're still talking.
Send
He's
them all
still
to Australia.
talking.
Wait to see the face on that
Quite
judge.
actually
When you tell
impressive.
the
He's
judge,
still
if I lose
talking.
things for millions
Yeah,
of
he
years,
doesn't
how
give
we
a
die,
fuck.
if
I never
don't
understood
die,
flurpers, man.
I'd love
Like
for
you
you
can
to
He just wants to
see,
feel like
If
he's
you just have
preaching
you
to
can
us.
see
evidence at all,
the
it's
circle of the Earth on the moon when there's a lunar
Hey,
eclipse. I don't
I
get
got
it.
a
Oh, no.
debate
There's-
coming up, so maybe you can listen to that, the flat Earth debate coming up.
already having the
You
ability.
know,
P-Town.
so that's
Yeah.
coming up.
I think
P-Town, they've proposed something to resolve that problem. There's an invisible dark bodies that are also discs that you can't see in this. I'm serious. This is what they propose.
Really?
I think the boy's a
Wow.
poser. I think he's a fucking poser. Hey,
Oh,
Exucia.
poser! Oh, poor somebody's jealous. You poor thing. Poor little-
Exucia.
I mean, I don't like to
Poser.
use
Oh my
this
goodness, a
term, but
poser.
like I think
Tom,
trolling
did you
for
hear that guy?
Jesus
Is
sort
that,
of
wait
you
a
know
minute. Was that toxic? That said
applies
that?
here. I'm sorry.
But
You're
you've
not the
been
only one.
talking to yourself.
He knows you, Taylor.
Oh,
Oh,
You've
no.
been talking to yourself the whole
Who said that I was
time.
a poser, Tom? Who was the little jealous crybaby that said that?
I said you're a
It was
poser.
this guy right
Oh,
here.
I
you
said
poor
you're a
thing, Toxic. Listen, Toxic. Listen, I'm sorry you're new to this, bro. But there's levels to this, Princess, and you're not ready for it. I'm sorry. There's many levels to this.
Oh, oh, run, dude. You better
Emphasis on the
run.
level, right? Emphasis on the flat Earth
Hey,
level.
hey,
there.
bring me
You
back
better
up.
run,
Bring me back up.
Hey, this is
Who's
one
next,
way to
Tom?
bring
Bring me back up.
Christians,
out.
atheists, and Richard
Yep.
Madsen all together on one
There you
page.
I know,
It's
right?
like he's doing a great job.
He's healing the world. He's
Oh,
healing
you
the
better
world.
run, bro.
Who's this?
Bring me back up. I'll be the
We all
Demolish-
agree about
that
something
demolished window
finally.
here, we
Look at
better
this.
Shut up quickly, so he learned his lesson. And how we got over here, we got Holy Spirit and fire. He is very thankful
Pick
that
on-
he didn't try to challenge me.
Pick
Exo.
on me. He hasn't said anything about
Exo.
me. I feel jealous.
Exo.
Jealous.
Sorry, P-Town. I'm sure he'll get to you.
Exo, do you know the difference between statements and arguments? You should learn the difference between statements and arguments.
Hey, kisses and hugs. Your audio's
Bro,
down
he's
again. What
still
happened to
talking to himself. He's still talking to
It's
himself.
perfect. It's
I'm on Hoto
Amen.
internet. My bad.
XO, your audio is like way down in the hole again. I don't know what's going
Thanks
on.
for helping him, Dave.
Ask Tom to turn me down.
Well, I just want to hear what he
Because he's been
says.
talking to himself the whole
he's
time.
Why?
perfect volume
He
right
just
now,
keeps
Praise.
going.
Don't
Yeah, he
touch
just
that.
keeps going. He just keeps
Perfect. We
going.
can all hear
Well,
each
Tom,
other now.
Tom put him in the testicling mode anyway. That's all right.
Oh, where'd he go?
Allahu! Allahu snafu! Snackabar!
Peace and respect, Mark Reed.
Praise.
Welcome.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, man? You good?
I'm better than I deserve.
Oh, okay. Wow. What? No, okay. Well, you must be doing pretty good then. Hey, P-Town.
Pretty
I
good.
haven't seen P-Town in ages. How you doing, P-Town?
Good, Mark. Are you still an atheist? Just joking.
Yeah, man.
Good
Yeah,
to see you.
Look,
Oh,
you'll be the first to know if ever I convert. Trust me. You'll be the
Sweet.
first.
Hey, is atheist allowed to practice love?
Allowed to practice what?
Love.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Do
Are you
you
sure?
mean the emotional act or the physical act here? What are you exactly referring to?
Well, let's say you close your eyes for a second. You
Yeah.
put your hands together in front of you, and you imagine as much love for God as possible.
Look, a lot of
Okay.
so-called, a lot of self-professed
Why?
Christians.
I mean, I can do that.
A lot of self-professed
You think you can do
Christians
that?
don't have the love.
No, sure, but I don't believe that God is real.
You
so
don't have to
I,
believe anything. You just express as much love for God as possible.
okay, I put,
Yeah, just close your eyes, put your hands together, and try to, for a couple minutes, try to express with your emotions as much love for God as possible. That's how an atheist becomes a believer, right there.
Yeah, it didn't work. I mean, I'm still an atheist. I don't think you can sort of just make up.
That's all God is. God is love, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, depends on who you talk to, I guess. But sure. I mean, if God's just love and I love my wife, if that's what you're going to call
express
God,
that feeling for your wife as well.
trivial.
Close your eyes, put your hands together, and feel as much love for your wife as possible in your mind.
Well, I don't need to put my hands together and close my eyes for that. I
No,
just,
you really do.
comes naturally.
Just a couple minutes.
Well, I don't.
She deserves your love.
I mean, I can, but it's not going to change the amount of love I feel for my wife. Why? What's
Oh yes, it will.
Can I ask why you got married? Why do you have a wife?
He loves her.
Like, is that ecologically survival of the
No, it
fittest
doesn't add
sort
any
of-
more. I don't love my wife anymore putting my hands together and
Well,
closing my
listen.
eyes.
If you're an atheist, then you shouldn't believe in love, then, because love is all God,
Right.
man. That's
Well, I'm
God's.
saying,
That's God's
is there-
territory.
Is there
Well,
like
I mean, you can
ecological advantage to a marriage that, like, you don't love her in an
Yeah,
emotional way, but you love her in a physical, sociological, to
God is
survive
love,
sort of way?
Well,
And that's
no,
why you did
I
it?
mean, emotionally, yes, I do love her. Emotions aren't sort of spiritual or some kind of, some kind of nether thing we can't explain. They're emotions. I feel upset. I feel angry. I feel sad. I feel a lot of emotions, and one of them is love towards my wife. I don't know why. I mean,
Well, that
because
can
you're
be
not.
infatuation, though. I have a
Sure,
better
but
question.
it's
A better
love
question.
because
A
I
better
love my
question.
wife. I mean, I don't think you're in a position to tell me
What?
what my emotions are.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
trying to
you're
do
in
that.
position.
A better question to narrow it down
Yeah.
further for you, my friend, because I haven't spoken
Sure.
to atheists in a while.
Sure.
Is why do we as humans? Why do we love our deceased ones? What is the advantage to that? Loving dead ones. What is the? Because there cannot possibly be a survivalistic advantage.
Right.
To hanging
So-
on to dead ones. So
Yeah,
where does that
like,
come
so-
from?
Sure, so any societal bond, the impact of them on you reinforces what you learn from them, what you take on from them, and the amount of importance that they place upon you. So sort of honoring our dead is a way of sort of keeping alive the tradition that they're passing on to us. So they'll pass us knowledge. And so we do a lot of things as a social species around ritual and ceremony that isn't necessarily physical in nature. It more just reinforces what they've taught us, what we've learned from them. We mark events. Like what's the importance of marking graduating from high school?
Like a
why do we
memory
have a
thing.
ritual for that?
Well, but that's kind of what I'm asking. Is like, where's the actual social utility in that kind of
Yeah, it's because we learn
Because they're
things from
dead, they're
them.
long gone. No, but we
Yeah.
already have the things from them, so there's no need.
Right.
There's no reason to cry over them. I guess is my point. If that makes
Is
sense.
your wife also an atheist?
Yes.
She is. So let's say you die. Didn't you think she'll want to see you again, like after she dies?
Probably. I mean, I'd want to see her after I die
Yeah,
as well,
so
but
I'm pretty sure she'll become a believer when you die.
whether or not what we want, just because I want to see her after I die, doesn't mean that that's the truth. What you want, I want a solid gold toilet. It's just not in the cards, is it, baby? Like, come on, like this is wishful thinking. There's nothing to suggest that there's any kind of life after when I die, even though I really want that. And same with her. She knows that, hey, she'd want to see me after I die, but that doesn't mean that it's true, any more than me wanting to win the lotto tomorrow.
What if it has nothing to do with you wanting it? Like most of mankind, well, actually, all of mankind never wanted it. So what if it's that fact?
Well, even if everybody in the world believed that or wanted the Earth to be flat, for instance, doesn't mean that it's flat. It just that's not how things work.
Right, I'm saying nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted the resurrection, but that is what is.
Nobody wanted.
Think
the
about
resurrection.
that.
Well, sure.
Yeah, nobody.
I mean,
nobody wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't
that
really.
way.
So I don't.
You're a really good person because I see a lot of love in you, man. Like you're much more loving than a lot of these Christians are, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
there's actually God in you, man. Because God is love, man. That's all He is.
I don't think so, but I'm not going to argue that I don't love. Like, of course I love. If you want to call that God, that's up to you. That's just not my description of God.
What evolved first, babies or boobs?
What?
Mark,
What evolved first?
That's a good question.
Mark, going
No,
back
I got
about
a
2
series
minutes,
of questions
the Bible
for you,
does
Mark.
read.
First.
The Bible does read that He is not a God of the dead, but a God of the living. And when Christians say weird things like there's this not alive state after life, that's I don't know where that comes from, but it certainly doesn't come from the Bible.
Babies or boobs,
I don't
Mark?
know, honestly. What evolved first?
Richard, you're not a
Babies.
universalist, then, are you?
Hold on, let's see if he answers honestly. He's trying to see if he should be honestly or
Babies first.
really babies. Oh, so
Interesting.
before
Before
a woman
boobs.
exists, so babies came before women came. Well, that's amazing.
Shut up, XO. I got some good ones coming.
Well, that's amazing. We don't need women. I don't know why Sparrow. We don't need.
I
you
had
anymore.
follow-up
Babies are
questions,
fine.
XO.
I'm
then you
gonna
can do your
steal,
thing.
man.
It's done.
The babies came before a bunch of eight-chested women,
Right.
and then they developed bigger breasts to feed more babies.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
so
you're right.
the
They kept
advent
dying
of
millions of times. Man, I was
placental mammals kind of thing. So placental mammals, right?
No.
So mammals, right? Yeah. So there's mammals, and mammals
No.
mean
Hold up. Go back further. Go back
mammals,
further.
Mark? Did you want to tell us about the
Yeah.
mammals?
So before mammals.
No. Go before to the beginning, to the rock.
I feel
Go there
to the
rock. Yeah.
I want to know how many kids. I want to know how many kids Eve had before she had sex with Adam. How many kids did she have? Do you think?
Amazing.
Who?
It's we both believe that everything came from a rock, but we believe the rock is God, and you believe the rock is a rock. In that way.
Come on, Kent Hovind.
How many kids Eve had before she had sex with Adam?
It's got a rock.
I don't know why.
Give it a rest, Kent Hovind.
God is the rock.
Mark believes it
God is a rock.
You mean Ken Hovind would know the answer to my question?
Of evolution now. Mark doesn't believe it came from a rock.
Does the rock have a mind?
I was just wondering how many. I'd really like to know how many kids that Eve had before she had known Adam. I'd like to just know that. How many kids did Eve had before she had sex with Adam and had Cain?
One.
It's a stupid
I guess
question.
my mic is my mic down, Tom. I guess I'm off.
Well, I mean,
And it was a straw man.
I hear you fine.
Ken Hovind.
You're loud and clear now.
Oh, am I loud and clear now?
Right
Okay,
volume.
cool. All right, so we got that
Right,
right. So we know that
perfect
Mark
volume.
believes
Yeah,
it came
so
from nothing.
I don't know how many. I know that in Jewish tradition there was a Lilith, so there was a previous woman before Adam.
Do you believe in the Big Bang?
Amazing.
Listen, all aircraft, please stand by on this frequency. All aircraft, please stand by on this frequency. XO, go ahead, please.
Wait, I'm curious.
Yeah,
what kind of
I just want
scientist
Mark
are
to
you?
first
Are you a
admit
real
that Mark can
scientist?
tell us it came from nothing.
Who?
Do you believe in the Big Bang? Are you a real
Yeah.
scientist? Okay,
Yeah.
so you're not a real
Because you
scientist.
saw it on TV. Did you see that
You're not a
on TV, Mark?
you're not a mathematician. You're not a physicist.
Well,
you're not
Now,
any
Mark,
of
can
those
you answer
things,
this
right?
question? Mark, can you
you're
tell me
right,
that
I'm
you
not-
have you ever
Right,
imagined
I
the Big
know.
Bang, Mark?
I think
No, I
that,
know you're not any of those things. I know those.
Well, I mean,
because of
it's
your
just
answer.
based upon my knowledge of sort of the cosmic background, microwave
Well, it's just the
radiation.
Big Bang
and
was-
the-
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
the
what
Big
did you
Bang.
read about the cosmic microwave background radiation, Mark? When did that happen?
What do you mean? When did it happen?
Yeah, when did that
Big
happen?
Bang-
When did you
No, you
research
probably
that?
don't
When did you
read,
study
but-
that, Mark?
Oh, a while ago. Why?
Oh,
Are you aware of the Dark Age?
yeah, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Who told you about this microwave background radiation?
Okay, calm down. Are you
Hey,
aware
where's
of
the
the
source
Mark,
come from?
if there's certain practices,
Just cartoons, just like,
that-
oh, I
that I
watched the
can tell
cartoon
you
on
to
TV,
do.
therefore I'm a
If
scientist.
If
Okay,
you
great.
were
Claim.
to see God, would you believe?
I mean,
Are
I
you
heard
Oh,
aware
hell
of
about
the
no.
so-called-
Hell no. Oh, look at that kitty. No,
yeah,
hell
I
no.
heard about it in
So-called Dark
school,
Ages?
but I heard about it in school, but you know, I've talked to physicists about.
Well, shit,
it,
slap
kind
a
of.
scientific badge on your chest, you're good to go. Heard
Okay,
about it on
okay.
school. That's good enough for me. I heard about it, so you're a scientist. Yep.
Okay, calm
I
down.
didn't say I was. So
Are you aware?
I don't
No,
know
he
why
didn't. He
Well, you
didn't.
have to
Are
be
you
so
aware
smart
that-
to remember. You have to be
Well,
smart enough to understand evolution.
Not really,
right?
no.
Right, Mark?
Not really, no. It's pretty straightforward, actually.
Oh, have
What
we found
came
an
first?
example of
No.
adaptation in nature? Let's just
What
go back to
came
the
first?
core bottom
Yeah.
foundation,
No, it's
lowest
completely
level of evolution.
mystic.
What came first?
Yeah, have you found any examples of anybody? Because these guys might be confused too. Anybody just find any example of adaptation in nature? Want to take a guess?
What came first, the milk or the nipples? Mark.
What came first? I
Now
don't
this
know
one,
the answer.
even a caveman knows. Let's hope we can get this one.
Are you aware? Come on, Mark. You know this. You know evolution.
My cat knows this answer. I'm gonna ask my cat real quick.
I think so.
Milk or the nipples?
He's a brave little atheist. Give him
I
that
think
nickname.
so. I think that's a good answer. I think so. That's a good.
brave
Okay,
little
that's
atheist.
scientific.
Mark, are you aware of the
Yeah,
dark
so-
ages of the Big Bang? The dark ages of the Big Bang, so called.
Yeah,
You
I
know
mean
how
the
that
dark
works?
ages of the Big Bang. Are you talking about like?
Wow.
You're the
Yeah,
one who
I
said
like
you
how he
believe in
said,
the Big
yeah,
Bang.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just talking about the dark
one-
ages of
One
calm down with these.
second after the presumed singularity, like
I'm
Wow,
just
1
talking about the
second.
dark
That's like
ages.
You
eternity.
got, all of you
after
guys
the Big Bang, an
understand.
entire
Listen,
second
Mark,
mark. Wow, that's
Yeah,
how'd you
if
figure that out?
Mark believes, the whole heaven will rejoice. You guys
Hey, and
know that, yeah?
Mark, you're saying that's
No,
not a
I do
religious
know.
belief.
That's why I'm not making fun of him. or whatever.
no,
If
no,
Mark,
no,
you're
Mark
saying that's
becomes
not
a
a
believer,
religious
the
belief. I guess
It's a
angels in
waste of
heaven
fucking
will
breath,
sing.
dude. Shut the fuck up. It's
Wow.
a waste of breath.
Oh, we got more jealousy. We got the hater here again, the jealous hater.
No, I've listened.
So, Mark,
I've
is that
listened
is
to you
that a
for
religious
Poser,
belief?
weeks,
man.
dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
I've
It's like
listened
the
to you
shittiest
for
preacher
weeks.
ever.
It's a joke.
For weeks,
Sucks.
you
know-
listen to me for weeks. Well, stop perving on me and get a life, you
Because you're in
faggot.
and out
No one
every
asked you to
fucking
listen to me.
channel on the
My
goddamn
goodness
planet.
gracious. Holy
You're
shit.
literally
We
You
got
know,
in and out
everything
everything
Exo,
on the
shocking.
when
planet.
everyone disagrees with you, it doesn't necessarily make you right. It could just mean you're wrong.
Wow, everyone
stalking you,
disagreed with
bro.
Jesus too. I guess Jesus
You're
was
going
wrong.
about it the
Wow, what a
wrong way.
See, there it
coincidence.
is.
I'm
Yeah.
stalking you,
Christian
Wow, just like they
persecution
hated
complex.
him first.
There it
Yeah, they
is.
hated him first. Yeah, there
I
it
mean,
is. The
didn't the
pervert
apostles
slandering
You,
agree
you
with
know,
him?
Nobody
when
actually
hates
defend
you.
the word of God.
when
Yeah,
you
Nobody
think
hates you.
that's
You're
right.
just
I
when
can
you
fucking
think
defend
you're
the word of
right
God. I can
just
actually
because you're
prove things. I
wrong,
can actually
that's
show how they
mental
can't
illness.
demonstrate anything. And 5 twerps with nothing to show for want to challenge me. I would smash every single one of you at the
It's
same
you
time in
haven't
reality. On
presented
the
any
internet, you're a bunch of
arguments.
tough guys. In reality, you're faggots, you're spineless, you ain't gonna do shit. That's the difference. I'm gonna demonstrate
That's
that
it,
nobody
violence?
can challenge the Bible. I will demonstrate
That's
that
why you're
creation
right, because
itself
of violence.
screams and begs for the fact that God is Jesus Christ and no man will even challenge it. In the beginning was the
Bro,
Word, the Word was
shut
with
the
God.
I
fuck
appreciate
up.
your
The
zeal
Bible is
and your
the
love of God.
Praise to
all things were
God.
made
Like,
by
what
him,
the
and without
fuck?
without him, not anything was
Your
ever
love
made.
of
In him was
God
life,
is
and the life was the light of
admirable,
men, and the light
but
shineth
you
in
don't
darkness,
have
and
any
darkness
arguments.
comprehended it not. This is about light versus darkness, guys. This is a spiritual warfare.
Could you
And because
present
you're
an
hating on
argument
Christians that can do it, God,
anytime?
you can't.
Listen,
You are
it's
doing
not
the
just
work of
about
Satan. That's how this
Apparently
works.
not.
When a Christian
Apparently
steps
not.
up and says, I can make this a lot easier for you, and you hate him, you are the Pharisees. You're casting stones because you're jealous bitches. That's what you do. That's what you're here to do.
No,
You're here to prove
it's
my
not that
point.
I
The Christian
disagree
shows
with
up
you.
and you're gonna literally
I feel the
confirm
love of
everything
Christianity
that I
now.
say. The
I
reality
mean,
is,
now
you
I
have
feel
the
the love
claim
of
because you haven't
Christianity.
done it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to get out there and use the word of God to defend creation, not ask, what came first, the baby or
Did
the
you start
mom?
going
That's
to a
not
new
gonna help
dealer and
anybody
and you
asking
got
questions. All you
you
have to
got
do
your
is ask
meds
them, give me an
wrong?
example
Is
of
that what
that
happened?
creation in nature, and they will
Because
prove to
this
you
is
that
like
they don't have
beyond
an
math.
example of that.
No,
And
but he's
instead of
not.
hating
He's not.
on the
I
methods
got
that
another
Christians
one.
use, maybe you should find something you're good at instead of just trying to stroke your egos on the internet. Some guy said he's been listening to me for weeks. I've been on here twice in the last 3 months. This is the second time I've been on here, and apparently
Oh,
your
I feel
defense
so
is you've been
What
privileged.
came
listening to me for
first?
weeks. No, you will never be able
Right.
to defend the word of God because you
What?
make it about yourself. You are
Mark,
worshiping
what?
yourself, bruh, and that's why you have nothing
Yeah.
to show for it. Thanks.
Mark, what evolved first, the crack pipe or the flurfer?
Wow, there we go again. So now we're calling Jesus a flat earther. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. If you guys want to slander the word of God and call Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and
Okay,
Moses flat
I'll
earthers,
pay
hey,
that.
your
That was
perversions
funny.
are going to
That
only
was
expose
funny.
you. Like I said, you'll fulfill every prediction I make. You have to slander the writers of the Bible,
Yeah.
the patriarchs, Moses,
I'll pay that
Noah.
one. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Joshua, you call them flat earthers. That's not my problem. I'm sorry, I live in reality. So we can compare my resume to yours. Would you like to look
Sure.
at my channel? I bet we can use my channel versus all of yours combined, and we'll see who has the most evidence for reality. Should we do that next?
What do you mean by reality?
Oh, yes, we have somebody that doesn't know what reality is, Tom. Did you see this? I'm going to have to first define what reality is, then I'm going to have to define for them what a kind is, and then I'll have to define what define means. You see, this is what happens when you live on the internet and you have nothing to your show. Now the weirdo is asking me, what do I mean by reality? Clearly, you
Flat
live
Earth
in a
isn't
cartoon
reality.
fantasy.
You know that.
I'm asking you for your truth theory. Mine's
You can't
I
make
think
a
the
claim. You live in a
correspondence
fantasy. That's the point.
theory
And I live in
and
reality. That's why I can
justified,
make the claim, right? So
true
I have evidence. And what do you have?
belief
You have a cartoon fantasy. Was this
is
the person
reasonable.
that believes in magical outer
So,
space balls instead
I
of the
have a
solar
question
system, or
for
is it the
you.
little
How
coronavirus
do you
guy, or
explain
is it the
the
Hitler that got jealous and is still raging?
This
How do you explain
motherfucker's
the
goal is to annoy you into fucking Christianity because he is a
No, you will.
fucking,
No, I'm not
Is that
interested in
ever
Christianity. What's
one-star
Christianity,
fucking
princess? Not
preacher.
interested in Christianity.
You are
I'm
a
interested in the
fucking
truth. And
one-star,
bitches who have to say the word
unbridled
Christianity
fucking tongue.
have
You do
obviously
not even know
smoked
your fucking Bible. You
methamphetamine
spend most of your
laced
fucking time
crack.
talking
So
and
stop
absolutely
lacing
no
your
fucking
crack
You
with
time
sound like a
methamphetamine,
mentally
and maybe you
you
can
sound
actually have
highly
something to show
regarded.
for. Clearly, you're
You sound
possessed by
highly
demons. I'm here to
regarded.
defend creation, and it looks like I'm
Clearly,
being attacked
everybody's
by a
possessed
room
by
full of
demons.
noobs, a couple of Satanists, and
Dude,
one
this guy-
atheist that is
Satanist,
begging
you're
to
a
hide from
Satanist.
morality.
Praise
So it's
the fucking
everybody
Satanist
versus the
because you
Christian.
got
I
a
got bad news
picture
for you guys.
of a
Neither
picture
is
of
a
Jesus
not
and
for
a
him,
Satanist.
it's
You're a
against him.
Satanist.
So you're
And you're a
against Christ. You're
Satanist. And
slandering
you're a
Jesus.
Satanist.
Actually,
And
what
you
the
want to
Bible
kill
says
him.
about
You're gonna
this
pick a
is that
stone
you shouldn't be
and kill
arguing.
his children
You should
because
be
you live a
using
life of
reason and
misery. You
rationality.
hate yourself because you have nothing to show for it. So if you hate yourself that much, just get out of the way. Let the Christian do his job, and let's let the children know what God's creation shows itself and how to literally just accept reality. Because obviously we have people here that need the word reality defined for them. And then of course we'll define kind and then define, right? Mark, that's what we'll do next.
I'm fucking speaking. Nobody can fucking hear what I'm saying, but I don't give
Yes,
a fuck.
nobody
I'm
wants to
making the
listen
most
to you, man.
fucking
You're just having a
noise.
seizure.
I'm
Like
making
what?
all the
You're now
fucking
the
noise.
new atheist
I'm making all the
weirdo
fucking
having a
noise.
seizure.
I
Yes.
don't give a fuck.
Congratulations.
I'm making all
Yes.
the fucking
Look
noise.
at Toxic
Fuck
Taylor,
whether you hear
Toxic
me.
Crusader.
Fuck
Yes.
whether I'm
This is his
grateful.
greatest
Fuck
life's
whether I'm
performance
beautiful.
right here, guys. This is
Fuck
what
whether
happens when
I
a real Christian
edify
shows
you.
up
I'm
and
just fucking
exposes
running
do
my
nothing
fucking mouth.
perps on the
It's
internet that
going
have
and
nothing
going
to
and
show for.
going.
Here we
And
go.
you
Yep.
can hear me
Here we
going.
go. There's little
I'ma
Toxic
still
Taylor.
go.
So,
A, B,
Toxic
C,
Taylor, can
D,
you show me
E,
your
F,
channel right now
G,
so I can see what
H,
type of
I,
evidence
J,
you have on
K,
your channel? Let's see
elemental
what your
P.
channel is on YouTube.
Motherfucker,
Tom,
I
can you
can
please
talk
pull up
and
his channel,
talk
Tom?
and talk.
Can you?
Fuck
Is
whether
that
you hear
possible?
me or not. Fuck whether you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Fuck whether I
Anything else?
edify you.
So yep, that's
Fuck
what you can do.
anything
Tom,
else.
is there anybody
I'm
that has a claim
talking.
for any
I'm
evidence or
doing a good
anybody
job.
that's done
Thank
anything
you,
themselves
Jesus.
at all
Thank
or can
you.
defend
I'm
the word of God
speaking.
at all
I'm
in any way,
continue
shape,
to
or form?
speak.
Tom, anyway
I
at all?
continue to fucking speak. The word of God tells me to continue to speak, whether people hear
Yep.
it,
So just
whether they're
another
edified
crackhead.
by
Yep.
it, whether
Anything
I'm
else?
fucking just
So we
running my
got
fucking
Crackhead
mouth
Johnson,
for no
Toxic
fruition
Crusader.
at
Okay,
all.
anybody else? Let's get Mark back on the microphone so we can be told again how losing something is how we gain it.
Come on,
So we can
Praise. Will
at
you
least
end
show the
this?
children how dumb evolutionists are. Because right now,
Come on, Tom. End this, please.
Yeah, I vote kick.
I put them both on low.
Congratulations, Toxic. You're my new favorite
I'm okay.
hater.
Fuck everyone else.
Wow.
I'm talking.
They're not
I
gonna
hear
stop
myself.
speaking.
I'm
dude.
fucking edified.
Okay, who's
I'm
next, Tom?
Then my
Alright,
daughter
Mark,
said something
Mark,
cute
are you
yesterday.
aware of the dark ages of the Big Bang, Mike?
Oh, the dark
Taylor, he dropped your volume and the other guy's volume, and we can barely hear the other guy, so you don't have to keep going.
I was out for a
You guys
walk
are
with my daughter
hilarious. I'll put it
yesterday.
back up. Hold on. There we go. Here you go, Taylor. You're back up.
All right, have this motherfucking poser spell out exousios in Greek.
So anybody find an example of adaptation in nature yet?
Can't do it.
He's
He's a
calling
fucking
you out,
poser.
XO.
Let's go. Who is it? Tom, tell me. Who is it?
Toxic Taylor.
Oh, great. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Toxic Taylor, can we get his channel up, Tom? So the guy that's calling me out, let's pull your channel up and let's see how much evidence you have. Let's pull your channel up. Let's go, Princess. Come on, get your channel up. Put your link in the chat. I'm going to get my link right now. We'll see who has the most evidence, okay?
I'll go on your channel.
Why?
I'll go on your channel.
Oh, someone's getting scared. Oh, someone's getting scared. Why? Why do things? Why show credentials? Yeah, why would we want to show credentials? Good
That's
question.
not Taylor.
Yeah.
That's me. That's Mark. Is saying
Everybody here
why.
knows.
Like,
I'll
what's
send
the
you.
point of it?
Here, I'll send you my channel.
What are you trying to prove?
You're gonna send me a cartoon?
guy
You're
sounds
gonna
like
send me you were at a baby shower the other day and you bought somebody a bottle? What are you gonna send me?
This bitch can't spell out Greek. He can't. He doesn't know the Greek alphabet. He
Dude,
can't spell.
sounds
out
like
Don't know the
fucking
Greek
hell,
alphabet.
dude.
Oh wow, so you're a smart person. Wow, that's
I would have
amazing.
muted this guy.
You know your
already.
ABCs. Wow, you know your ABCs and Greek
broadcasters in
talks
your
it.
area voluntary cooperation with the FCC and
Wow,
other
this
authorities
guy
that
knows his
develop the service to
ABCs
help
in
keep you
Greek.
informed in the event of national, state, local, and global
Okay.
emergency.
All right,
Are
so
you
Tom,
married,
we'll start with
Exo?
me.
Exo,
Okay, so
Exo, are you
Tom, I'm back
married?
in my claim. Here's my channel. I just put a
Are
link
you
in the back
married,
chat,
Exo?
Tom. So
Alright,
if you'd
I'll come on
like
up.
to play the video,
Is
and now
Exo
we can
married?
show somebody a miracle that they'll never be able to do in
Are you
life. Let's
married,
pull up the
Exo?
video and see what I have. You can even skip the first minute and a
There's
half
just
if you'd
nothing
like to, Tom. I've
Christ-like
already
about
placed my
this.
link in the
I
back
don't
chat.
care.
I know the
I don't
toxic
care
crusader
Well, I know it's
weirdo
kind
that
of really
knows his
difficult to have a
ABCs in Greek. Well, that's an
conversation,
impressive accomplishment,
but that's
toxic crusader,
okay.
that you
Praise,
found out your
kick this
ABCs
motherfucker
in
out,
Greek.
dude.
Wow, your
So
mommy must be
stupid.
so proud. So
So
go ahead and start
fucking
playing this
stupid.
video right quick,
You wasted like an
and
hour. Of
let's get it
time
going here,
tonight.
Tom.
Fuck
Let's
is
watch this video, guys. Hold on. Let's watch. Here we go.
I wanna
Okay.
watch this video.
All right, so here we are. So this took place around April
This is
2019.
retarded, dude. Get me out of
Uh-oh,
here.
we have the perverts are already having seizures. Oh, they're already that was easy. It took 3 seconds for the perverted retards to beg you to stop playing my video. Wow. So again, here we are. This is 7 miles high over northern Arizona.
Bro, do you know
this is
what
a little
projection
area you
means?
might have heard of called the Grand Canyon, also known as the
Uh-huh.
Judgment Scar or the Water Course. And I'm sure as I'm speaking, people are continuing to perversely interrupt me. I see a nice little shot there of Ace Theo.
We interrupt you. How dare we, right?
And
We
here we
interrupt
are
somebody.
again for the largest judgment
it
scar
doesn't really make any
under the
fucking sense
heavens.
when you really think about it.
It is a world record. It is the longest continuous shot.
No, it
of
doesn't
God's
actually make any
judgment.
sense
That is the
because
most
it's an
important
X
thing
marks
about
the
this video,
spot,
Tom.
and so
This
fuck
displays
you.
the judgment of the flood
Have
of
you thought
Noah
about a big
when God
fuck
killed
you?
over
Have you thought
1
about
billion
fuck?
perverts, much like the ones we have on this channel
Motherfuck
here.
you.
God one time wiped out
Have you
over
heard
1
of
billion of these
projection? Do you know what
retarded
it
perverts
means when you
that were
call a bunch of
defiling
other
his
people
creation
gay and
with
faggots
violence
and
and
perverts
perversion,
and
much like
shit? It
again
means
the
you are a
sycophant
faggot,
psychopaths we
pervert,
have
faggot,
in this chat room
psychopath,
right now.
murderer,
And when
whatever
he
you
flooded
are,
the entire
whatever you
world, he
condemn
killed a
others
couple
for,
billion
that's what you
people,
are.
and the
Whatever you
waters,
condemn
which were
others
so
for, that's what
amazing,
you
the
are.
Mayim from the Shamayim,
Whatever you
carved
condemn
out the
others for, that's what
largest
you are.
hole
It
on
doesn't
the
matter what
face of
it
the earth
is.
that we know of as the
Oh,
Grand
you're a
Canyon.
scumbag.
And
Oh,
this
you're a
is a
rapist.
world
Oh,
record
whatever
shot that
it
I
is.
took in 2019, showing the glory of God's creation and giving us a view 7 miles high, approximately 40,000 feet above the northern part of Arizona,
Alright, you
showing
proved the
us
fucking
the
Earth's
judgment
flat. The
scar
Earth
of
is flat.
Elohim.
You win.
It's one of my
You
best
fucking
shots, I
win.
gotta be honest with you. With all the videos I've ever
This
taken,
man
Tom,
is called
this is certainly one of my favorites. And yes, there we go. There's a nice shot right there. That's gonna be called the north side of the Grand Canyon.
Okay,
Alright, he
that's
wins. The
enough
Earth is
of
flat.
that.
The Earth is fucking
Uh-oh,
flat.
is that? Oh, are you already done, Tom? You couldn't even play it half of it. Wow, that was easy. So wow, it took 2 minutes and
Earth's
30
flat.
seconds
It's
of my
flat.
video.
It's
I
flat,
have more
motherfucker.
evidence
Flat
of
Earth.
God's
You
judgment than
It's
all
a
of these
flat Earth,
people
motherfucker.
combined, and we couldn't even play half the
Grand
video. So
Canyon
that was
is
easy.
God's judgment. Well, I'm glad I'm
We
not
haven't
a
even
flat-o
got
because then I
halfway
might
through.
get a
We haven't
canyon.
even seen the largest part of the Grand Canyon yet. On the southern
Yeah, but
side
I'm
of it,
not a
that
plateau,
for
so I
some
don't have to
reason
worry
really
about God
upset a
causing a
lot of you
canyon
guys.
to
And
Faggot
Tom,
burger.
so let me ask you, Tom, why? So Tom, let me ask you, why couldn't you show the ending part of the video, Tom, and show the largest part of the judgment scar? Tom, what happened there?
Because I'm a global sphericist of NASA.
No,
That's why.
no, Tom, I'm asking, why couldn't you show God's judgment? Are you
Tom,
ashamed
you
of God's
NASA
judgment,
shill.
Tom? Hello?
Wow.
Hello?
Wow.
Hey, weirdos. Tom, are you ashamed of God's judgment scar?
Wow.
I can't believe I
Hello?
subscribed to this guy.
Hello,
Are you
Tom.
ashamed of
Tom, are you
I'm
having
an
a seizure?
asshole. I
Tom,
am
are
an
you okay?
asshole.
Tom, are you angry at God's judgment, Tom?
He doesn't know anything.
I'm an
Does that
asshole.
No, I know. What's the
Shitty
what? Do you hate God's judgment, Tom? Hello?
even know the
Can't hear you. Hello?
I love the judgment of God, baby.
Why do you hate this? Why does this video bother you so much, Tom?
Because I don't want to watch a stupid plane. I don't give a shit about a plane.
You don't give a plane?
No, give it
Are
to
you a
see.
retard?
Give
I
it
don't
to him.
see any plane in the video, Tom. Are you perving again like you did last time? You had a seizure and you
there
told
was
me
a
to perform a sex
We
act. This
assume
reminds me of
the wing
last
of the
time you
plane
blew
is
me off your
attached to the
channel,
plane,
and now
Show
you're
you
saying
flat earthard. Get the fuck
The
off.
Earth is
We
flat.
assume that
I
the
can
wing
see
of the
it.
plane is
There's
attached to
clearly
a plane,
no curve
right?
in the video. There's no curve. Give it to
Uh,
me.
what do you
You're
have to?
only like
Why are you
7
not
miles
playing
up.
my
It's not
video,
that
man?
Oh
Derp,
my
derp,
God.
derp. Like,
That,
dude, just
that's like
settle
fucking
down.
white belt preaching, and then it's like he's a white belt preacher, but he thinks he's better than he actually is. I
Oh
don't
yeah, I
disagree
was
with him. I
super
just think he's a
afraid
fucking
of
moron.
that scar. that scar on the earth was really making me afraid. I mean, come on, really, dude, just grow up or something. The guy needs to grow up.
Yeah, you suck at preaching. He sucks. You need practice. Go practice outside with people.
Well, I think I mean, if that's what your thing is, preaching, but in a chat room, the whole idea is to chat, right? It's to have a back and forward. I'm not, I mean, if you want to preach, sure. I'm just not sure this is the place for it. I mean, it's up to Praise, of course. It's his room, but I'd
Bro, that wasn't preaching. That wasn't preaching or chatting. That was like
entertainment.
That was like a weird
psychological
comedic torture of some kind.
I wasn't laughing.
Trying to be a preacher, but he's not.
It certainly was something. I don't know what it was, but it was something.
It was entertainment, man. I was laughing at him.
I guess I'm the outlier again because I don't think that's entertaining. I'd much rather hear people's actual ideas and arguments. And because someone might just change my mind about something, and they might actually help me.
The guy's a freak, but I wish the best for him. I don't wish any ill will on him, but he's still a freak, though.
Oh, who knows? I don't know. It's just that guy would. I mean, it was sort of his insults became kind of laughable after a while. It's kind of fascinating, watching him work himself up. Like he has no self-control at all, I presume, like no ability to go, okay, I'm getting upset, I've got to calm down. It just 0 to 100. Wow.
You have no dynamic. In a low success rate like that, there's people that you're preaching to a crowd, and then somebody comes forward like, hey, I want to know. And you're so used to preaching to that hostile crowd, you don't know what to do with the person that comes to you. So you just keep preaching. You just keep going.
Mark, hey, Praise, why you don't want to play the video, man?
Mark, what evolved first, the sperm or the egg?
Egg.
Okay, what evolved first, the penis or the vagina?
I believe the vagina. I think.
What?
I mean, this is dredging my memory.
Wait, where do you get that from?
Well, there's some species that
How
okay,
could
so
they
there's some.
possibly know that?
Well, there's some
Toxic
species
masculinity.
that deposit their sperm like sort of on the orifice of. They don't actually penetrate the other animal, right? They just deposit it on there. So, like the way that we sort of fertilize isn't necessarily the way every animal does. That's just the way we do it.
Like nut butter?
I think some species of frogs, they actually don't, like the female frog leaves an egg pouch and then the male comes along and fertilizes it afterwards. I'd have to check that, but I think that's actually what happens.
That's also true of seahorses, where the male ejaculates onto a pile of egg. Yeah.
We're not talking about seahorse.
Straight up nut butter.
Oh, I thought we were. Damn it. Got caught up in seahorses again. Oh.
Okay,
yeah,
that's the show, though.
I got a tougher question for Mark.
Yeah.
The clitoris or the G-spot? What evolved first?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea.
Is there even a scientific organ for that?
Possibly. I don't know.
I think that's like a colloquial.
Well, I think like in development, right? in the womb, the clitoris like turns into a penis when it becomes, because all start out as female, and then like one of the genome switches to Y. It's like XX and male is XY.
That's true.
And so switch.
Yes, it does.
One of the chromosomes
switches.
Y. Yeah.
The baby's born with it's born with the male and the female chromosome. So the male can either give the male like the Y or the X, and the female only gives an X.
Yeah, but I believe
it's one of each. I'm pretty sure.
The structure that becomes the clitoris becomes a penis in males. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that. I would say you're right. Thing is,
there's
they both
a large dose of
develop
testosterone at that point of development, and the reason, just like the clitoris and penis, the ovum. Oh, I'm sorry, bad word. Where the eggs are in a woman, the same thing drops down and becomes testicles in a male. It's the same structure.
Yeah, the ovaries.
Ovaries. That's the word. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Sure.
Richard, those are scientific terms. But hey,
No, I agree with that.
Is the clitosaurus a vestigial organ from our Jurassic ancestors?
You stop
I don't
that.
think so. I mean, maybe.
No such thing. He said clitosaurus.
The clitosaurus.
I would hate to encounter one of those, like, jumps out at you. What the?
What was the pre-clitosaurus?
I think that's the unicorn.
It also shapes that dose of testosterone also shapes the male hand when it is still a mitten-like structure. And the reason your ring finger compared to your middle finger is longer than a woman's to her middle finger is because of that dose, which is why the ring finger is the ring finger.
We call that the man in the boat. But, hey, so now that the fucking shitty preacher's gone, all right, why did little baby koalas have to eat shit? Why don't they eat eucalyptus?
Well, that's what they've evolved to do. That's their adaptation to that bacteria.
They do it because
It's not like normal feces. It's a special type that the female koala produces in order to transfer the bacteria, and the koala has adapted to be able to do that. Right?
By the way, everything that chews the cud does this too, Taylor. Everything that chews the cud.
Yeah,
goats,
basically they'd ask you,
cows.
why don't you eat shit? They'd be like, why don't you eat shit, you motherfucker?
The baby koala.
You don't know
the
anything.
Baby koala does not eat eucalyptus leaves. They eat shit. And I do watch the Discovery Channel.
Eat eucalyptus. No, they don't eat shit. They do not. What are you talking about? They
The
eat
baby
eucalyptus.
the baby koala eats its mother's shit until it develops.
No, it's called PAP. It's
stomach
different.
content
Look up
to
PAP.
tolerate
PAP.
eucalyptus.
PAP.
All right, I watch
It's called
Discovery
PAP.
Channel.
It's not the same thing.
Wait, which hole does it come out of?
The baby koala eats its mother's shit until it
Which
reaches
hole
an
does
age
it
where
come
can
out of?
start. It comes out of the butthole, like it's shit.
It does come out of the same orifice, but it's not actually
the baby
feces.
koala does not eat eucalyptus leaves. It eats mother's shit
arsehole.
until it reaches maturity. Then it starts to eat the eucalyptus leaves. They're highly poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they digest it first one time.
No, but the baby eucalyptus, the baby koala cannot eat eucalyptus. If you feed a baby koala eucalyptus leaves, it will die just like you will.
Okay, so answer that. Hey, wait, answer that, Max.
I got a question. So why is it if you eat koala shit, you don't get the ability to eat eucalyptus leaves? Why is
that's not going to work that way in evolutionary standpoint.
that's my point.
No,
if
wait,
it's to do with what the baby eats, then if you do the same thing, you should get this superpower.
Wait, but Mark, how do the koala babies eat? Which came first, the koala mother or the koala baby? How do they eat if they can't have a mother digestive for them?
Yeah, it was probably an adult.
But they eat their mother's pap, as you said.
A much less developed one that ate some of this bacteria to begin with, and
some
then
of this shit?
Successive generations got a better and better tolerance for this bacteria, and then they became symbiotic. They rely on each other now. They have a mutual benefit to each other. Symbiotic relationship.
Do we have a record of koala bears? What is it? Convergent evolution. Which one would it be? Convergent or divergent evolutionary?
Divergent is when
bears, man.
How did they? Because we're talking about an animal that needs its mother to survive in that sense. Eating its own food, because they're eating a very specific diet, which is the eucalyptus.
They're just called koala bears, Taylor. They're not technically bears. They're not.
They're monkeys. They have fingerprints like we do.
They're not monkeys. No, they're not. They're marsupials.
Why do they have fingerprints like us? Why do they have fingerprints?
Because animals do have fingerprints. Some of them.
What animals? What animals have fingerprints besides
koalas?
Koalas.
Yeah, koalas.
Yeah.
Koalas.
Yeah. They're marsupials.
They're monkeys.
That's what we're talking about, though.
They're marsupials, so they're not placental mammals. They don't have a placenta. They don't have an umbilical cord. Their young actually crawls from.
They don't have. Look at.
Okay, but I don't see how you could say one came. I don't see how you can say one came from another though. Like which one came first evolutionarily? Like
sometimes
how
we
do
don't
you have to
know.
imply that the baby gets the mutation, and then the baby has to somehow pass on that mutation onto another lineage and things, and so it's.
Sure.
But it's.
Sure.
But these these mutations don't even change. It's like human beings have been mutating in their genome for whatever thousands of years. It's not like we're changing
That's not a long
species
time.
or something.
That's not a long time. That's nothing. That's
It's a very
absolutely
long
nothing.
time. We'll talk about the Big Bang. Like I said, my
No,
friend, I
it's
asked you
not.
about the Big
I mean,
Bang. It
Big
doesn't
Bang is
exist.
14.6 billion years ago, and I mean, the
Right, but
Earth
I
is
asked you about the
forming.
Dark Ages. I asked you about the Dark Ages of the Big Bang. Point is, we don't got to go to the Big Bang because you don't really understand the Big Bang. I know that, and
What
that's
do you mean?
okay. We said it's 14 billion years. You're guessing at the age.
Yeah.
It's. Do you know what the Dark Age of the Big Bang is?
And I asked you, are you referring to the time sort of 1 Planck second before we think the singularity was, like the part where our physics sort of breaks down? Is that what you're referring to?
Mark,
Well,
may I? Because I see a fallacy here.
There's a
I see a
couple
fallacy here. Patrick, if I said to you that you should use a golf bit instead of a 7/32 bit if you're tapping for quarter 20, do you know what I meant?
No, I don't
Do
really
you
care.
do you really think it's reasonable to ask Mark to know everything about every scientific theory? Is that fair?
No, I think if you talk about the Big Bang, you better know the Dark Ages of the Big Bang. Otherwise, you shouldn't be talking about it. Like the first sort of thing. And he knows. I mean, what I'm talking about. He knows it's the early age of it. It's just what they call it. It's a quote colloquial name for the early age of the expansion of the space time or whatever the hell. Point is, the Big Bang was disproven a long time ago because the fact is, you physicists think you're looking at
I'm not a
stars.
physicist.
Right. Okay. Whatever they are, they think they're looking at stars in past time, and you're not.
Sure.
You're not. You're looking at it in present time, and that's why when the actual calculations, when the actual observations from the the Hubble telescope came in, the Hubble telescope, and the James Webb telescope, all the way back to the Dark Ages of the Big Bang, what we found is that there's galaxies fully formed, massive galaxies that look like they're basically 1 trillion years old at the very earliest ages of the universe that we thought were not there, and they are in fact there. The point is, before the basis of the Big Bang, a galaxy could not have formed in 1 billion years or whatever it took, or whatever it was, point during the Dark Ages, because that was what they formulated, was that there was no galaxies until much later on, and then we looked back in time with massive telescopes, and we found out we're not looking back in time, we're looking at now. And that's where the red shift comes from.
Yeah, so you've sort of got the wrong end of the stick there. There's formations of galaxies that we have to update what we're thinking, but no physicist is saying, hey, we don't understand the Big Bang. And I'd put it to you that you don't understand the Big Bang.
No, I completely disagree with I completely disagree. I understand the math.
Look at these things and sort of go, okay, we can tell how far away stars are by using things like standard candles, like pulsars.
No, I'm saying the universe is not 14
light
billion
does
years
not
old.
travel to us instantaneously, so we cannot be looking at stars as they are now, because light just cannot travel instantaneously.
You're talking about illumination.
Or C is 300,000 meters per second. That is the fastest anything can travel.
You're talking about illumination
in the universe. So that light just cannot reach us instantaneously, as you're suggesting. So we can't possibly be looking at stars as they are now, because a star like the 4 point something light years away from us, that light's going to take 4 point
Friend,
something
I'm saying,
years to get
okay,
us.
listen. Mark, by you suggesting that we're not looking at it instantaneously, you're proving my own point. You're proving my point. My point is, scientists, via the James Webb telescope, the Hubble telescope, looked into the dark past, the dark ages of the so-called Big Bang, and observed fully formed galaxies into the micro or picoseconds, or whatever you're talking about, picoseconds of the Big Bang. So there is no Big Bang. It didn't happen that way. Science has proved that long ago. I know you don't know that. I get it. You want to argue all whatever. Everybody's arguing all over shit.
You're sort of misrepresenting the science because
I'm saying the universe.
If I could just speak for a second, basically they found galaxies that were 300 to 400 million years they formed in. Now that's way earlier than we thought galaxies could form. But as it turns out, they're basically saying, hey, maybe they can form earlier. That doesn't disprove the Big Bang or stop it. Like, look it up if you want. It's basically saying, hey, galaxies form earlier than we expected. I mean, even 300 to 400 million years, you're not sort of saying, hey, the Big Bang happened and they just sprung into existence. That's not what they're saying. And if you actually read about the James Webb and the Hubble telescope, you would know this, but you're trying to make it sound like, hey, the Big Bang happened and these galaxies just sprung up. That's not what they're saying.
I'm saying you're off by about a measure of 10. It's more like the universe is trillions of years old, and you think it's 10 billion. It's not correct. Yeah, based on the actual math of the galaxies.
Do you have some kind of citation?
You observe the galaxies. You observe the galaxies, the size that they are. That's the whole point.
So
I mean, I learned this stuff in college. I wasn't even tripping about this in college.
So you think it's 14.6 trillion years old, and that's a factor of 10 from billions. Is that what you're saying?
No.
No, it's not a factor of 10, is it? Yeah, you're talking out of your ass. I'm sorry.
No, because you said it was 4. No. You think it's 14.5 billion. If you wanted to add the actual fact, it'd be 100 to get to 14 trillion or whatever.
100.
You have to multiply it by 100% or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the old damn math disproved it, because you can actually look back at the area of space-time that you're talking about, which was supposedly picoseconds after the creation of the universe, and you have fully fledged created galaxies. And I'm saying, I agree, the scientists don't know.
The way that you're representing it, sort of just springing up, no, it's
you're representing it as mysticism.
Yeah, if I could just speak, it's 300.
I'm just saying you're representing it as
million
mysticism.
Years after. If I could just speak, 300 to 400 million years after sort of the singularity is quite a lot of time. We didn't think that galaxies would form then. They can, but just for your information, a trillion is 1,000 billion. Because you don't even know that. You're saying 10, you're saying 100. Yeah. I mean,
no, you said 10. I said you got to bump it up an extra.
To 100, yeah, 100.
All right, but you said 1,000. Yeah, I didn't even know we were talking. I just heard 10. I'm like, no, that's not true. You gotta bump it up.
Well, I mean, we can rewind the tape.
How can you?
If you're on my channel, rewind the tape.
How can you?
Actually, Patrick, what happened was you said he needs to increase it by a power of 10. He didn't say that. You did.
I just heard 10. No,
and
I just
then
heard small numbers.
He started playing you. Then he started playing with you, going, "Oh, times 10. Oh, times 100," because he already knew it was 1,000.
Whatever it is, it's just a joke. Is the point? Is I get it.
Okay.
You're trying to make semantics, bro. You're trying to make semantics. I'm just telling you, there's a galaxy formed about 10 billion years younger than you actually predicted it would have. And you would have said that fact a year ago. A year ago, you would have been walking around like, yeah, dude, the Big Bang, yeah, we got galaxies. Blah, blah, blah. But now you're telling me, no, it's purely science, purely rationale, purely logic and reasoning, purely whatever. But it's just pure mysticism.
All right, thank you for sharing that. See, this is what we're working with. Now, Mark, what time is it where you're at right now, and what day is it?
Yeah, it's 5 p.m. on the 7th.
The 7th of January?
Yeah, so Saturday. Yeah, it's in January. Yeah.
All right. So you're not in a non-existent country known as Australia?
Well, hope not. I mean,
I just had to get that out of my system.
If I'm not in Australia, where am I? Like, seriously.
All right. Because there's a non-existent country called Australia where there's mammals that don't give live birth. There's monkeys called bears that eat shit.
They're not monkeys
because they can't. What makes them a bear?
They're not bears either. They're just called koala bears. They're marsupials. I keep telling you this. Marsupials. Say it with me.
That's a marsupial.
My name is Bumble Brutus.
Why is that a marsupial?
Well, because it's young isn't placental. It basically crawls from being born to a pouch, and marsupials are the only ones with pouches, and then it feeds from its mother while remaining in the pouch, like kangaroos do, right?
It's a monkey kangaroo.
But why are there so many exceptions? Why are there
Mark, we all know you're making the whole thing up. We all know it.
How dare you, sir?
Why is this? Why is it?
caught.
Why are there so many exceptions in all the studies of zoology from like thousands of years till now? Why do we come up with all these exceptions for the animals in this non-existent place called Australia?
Bro, it's not him. He's got his Pokédex.
There's mammals that don't give live birth.
He's got his Pokédex. That's all.
Well, Australia was
look who's calling me. It's the chef.
It's the
chef.
chef.
It's separated.
Yeah.
It's isolated, so you got a bunch of weird animals that live there that aren't.
Well, they evolved to do that. That's what they evolved to. And there's no marsupials outside Australia, except for one maybe possum in South America, I think.
How did the Monday Man get there? How did if they evolved?
What the hell is the Monday Man?
Are you guys
Mark Reed?
all over
What
each
is
other,
this guy
really?
talking about?
Mark Reed, the opossum is all over North and parts of South America.
No, I didn't mean to cut him off.
Oh, is it? Okay. I stand corrected.
But yeah, like you're right.
Hey, Richard, can we talk about intelligent life on these other planets with these other Jesuses instead? Maybe they get along better than the one over here.
When we start a show?
This is where
Sure.
Darwin went. This is where the beagle sailed. This is where Darwin sailed the beagle and went, oh, look, a bunch of weird animals.
Well, I think that was Galapagos Islands, to be honest with you.
No, that was Darwin. That was Australia. That's why they
Was
call
that
it
Australia?
Darwin, Australia, because Darwin was there, and that's where he said, "Oh shit, there's a bunch of different animals here." But so there's an island now. It's been isolated for a while, so the animals have different zoology than everywhere else. There's no
Zoology.
migration virtually, but there's humans there, right?
I
The
think you're
Monday
talking about
Man's there.
physiology, or perhaps like
Australia is the biggest contradiction in evolution because there's
Why?
this isolation where all these kangaroos and these kookaburras and these koalas, all
the
these weird
kookaburras
animals
birds.
sprang up via evolution. But somehow there was human migration there 30,000 years ago.
40,000, yeah.
Yeah,
there's
and
no
that's
there's
what the
no
Money Man-
evolution.
So according to human ascension, that shit was connected to the mainland not that long ago. But according to
Well,
evolution
no.
and zoology, it wasn't. It was isolated completely. It's got all these
Well,
fucking weird animals.
No, they think that the Aboriginals who came there 40,000 years ago traveled by boat from Polynesia. So they were basically sailed over.
Not Monday Man.
What's Monday Man?
Monday Man was a Denevisian. You don't know Monday Man?
No. What's
That's
Monday
the oldest
Man? How do you
fossil.
spell
That is the bone. That is the human skull they dug up out of the ground and said, "Hey, this is the Money Man. He came over from Asia."
Do you have a
Denevisian.
site for this or something?
Goodbye, Ruby Monday.
Monday Man's the oldest.
Who
The oldest human
put
fossil.
a name on you?
Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll get you Monday Man. I'll get you Monday Man. They didn't come over by boat. They were fucking sailing and shit. The age of discovery, in 40,000 years ago. Didn't find America. They had a walk.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right one, sir.
He's just a fucking gay cunt.
It's just a guy. Cheers, mate.
So, do you think that we can trace ancestry through DNA? Do you believe we can, Taylor?
Yes.
Like, do you think I can take your DNA and tell if your great 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 grandfather was the same as somebody else's?
Yes.
Yes. So, if there was interbreeding between sort of the Devonosians and the Peloponnesians, you think we would be able to tell, right?
That's the wrong one. What
Okay.
What would you say?
Like if there was interbreeding between like the Devonosians and another species or another, like the Peloponnesians of Homo sapiens, do you think we'd be able to tell through DNA sampling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have genetic markers and shit. We can.
Sure.
Wait, have we tracked the oldest people to somebody today yet? The oldest DNA we have we tracked that to today?
Yeah, I mean, the oldest DNA we can kind of sample, because don't forget, after a while, we can't sample DNA once it becomes a certain age. I don't know. This is your story, mate. I have no idea.
How old can we sample DNA?
Hey,
Like
news
what-
unit, I'm opening
Do you feel
up
what I'm trying to say?
I think it's about. I'm not sure. I think it's like 50,000 years from memory. That's a wild guess.
I gotta
though,
start
seriously.
sharing my screen. Some people with some fucking crazy shit.
Because you're right in what you're
I'm
saying.
working on it, just in case you
Like,
want to
to
go
me
there.
today,
Give me a couple minutes.
if we found an ancestry of the civilization, we'd probably find, all of our DNA links.
If I could ask for just a quick pause. Hey, Dave, there's a link in the private chat.
Oh, is it?
There's already
Okay.
it's already started.
Already
Yeah.
another one? All right, I was just working on something kind of UFO-ish or whatever. But,
Thanks for letting me on. Praise. Good to see you, Mark. Everybody, peace and respect. Love you all. Have a great night.
Peace, Richard. Good to see you, mate.
Thank you, Richard. Peace and
Some of you guys try downers. Just try them. Downers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just swipe it as he goes out. Yeah, I probably got to take off too, actually, now that I've come to think of it. Or if you've got the Monday Man. Yeah, so Australia's oldest remains, 42,000. No, go up. Australia's oldest human remains, an Aboriginal man who died about 42,000 years ago. So what you up to?
I almost never believe the dates they come out with.
No, but this guy, see, this guy is an Asiatic. It's not by sale. See, Japan and Australia.
The
Well, I mean, it's telling me that Mungo Man's 42,000 years old, so I'm not sure. You've just basically. I mean, I said 40,000. It was a tiny bit older, but 40,000 was a pretty good estimate, I think.
These fuckers aren't braving the South China Sea and shit to get to Australia. This shit's connected. The geography is supposed to be different. They're coming to a land where the animals, right? There should be lions and tigers and bears, not koalas and kangaroos and shit.
I know, and this is for Mark.
They've done tons of experiments with mice. Is there a limit to how big they can get?
I don't think.
You think will you ever get a mouse as big as an elephant?
It's not impossible. I don't see why.
You don't see why? Okay, I think it's impossible. I think
Why?
there's a genetic limit. Okay. Well, would you ever get a mouse as big as Texas?
Under the right circumstances, I'm sure that's not impossible.
You sure it is possible?
Under the right circumstances.
Under the right circumstances, you could get a mouse as big as Texas. Okay. Do you think they'll ever get a dog as small as a flea?
Sorry about that. Yeah, maybe under the right circumstances, and if the pressures allowed it, yeah, I see no reason why it wouldn't. Are you saying they can't? Is that a claim you're making?
I'm saying if you wish to believe that, that's fine, but that would be a belief that's not scientifically observable.
What do you think of that, Mark? That's what he proponents.
Well, no, I mean, if he's talking about like if you want something as big as Texas, I think that's impossible. Like the laws of physics, just like an organism that was that big made of our current bone structure would just crush its own legs from the weight. Like it's just impossible. Small as a flea. Now that's a bit different. It's kind of possible if you want to give it like possibly
environmental pressures,
hundreds of billions of years, and like selective pressures that eliminated the biggest again and again and again. But at that point, you wouldn't even be calling it a mouse. Like you'd be calling it something else, kind of thing. Like it wouldn't be a mouse at that point.
Instead of dog.
If we took all our pig
or whatever, you wouldn't be calling it the same
and
thing.
You couldn't do that. Come on, you couldn't do that. You can't tell me you just put a dog in a cage, shrink it a bunch like a corset or something, like a torso.
No.
Bill.
What we're talking about
It becomes the size of a
populations
micron.
and selecting the smallest ones again and again and again. And like I said, you would have to do it for hundreds of
No, but there are none as small as a flea.
Listen. Hundreds
there are
of
none
millions.
as small as a flea, though.
Hundreds of millions.
I mean, the time scale that you'd have to do that, because we can get them as small as a chihuahua, but if you eliminated every chihuahua...
That's
that was
because
above
there
a
are
certain
chihuahuas,
size,
though.
you will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't see a limit on that, except that it takes an incredible amount of time for it to adapt to that kind of size.
Okay, so why do you see a limit on the size of the largeness of Texas, but not on the size of the smallness of the
sheer
flea?
physics. If that
the sheer physics of a dog.
GoPro's moving. That's what it sounds like.
Legs, yeah. So what physical mechanisms exist? Just 1 second. What physical mechanisms exist in the DNA to stop that happening? Can you outline the mechanisms that prevent the?
Yeah, actually,
it's just they're dogs. They're not micron-sized
That's
fleas.
not a mechanism. What's the actual mechanism stopping
Bro,
evolution from?
You're
because
trying
you
to
believe
sell
in
me.
microevolution.
No. You're trying to sell me some weird thing.
No.
You're telling me
You
a
believe
dog.
in microevolution, right? Microevolution.
No. Explain to me how you're gonna shrink a dog.
So you don't think we can make dogs bigger? So you don't
not
believe
to the
in
size of
microevolution?
Texas. No, not to the size of Texas.
That's not microevolution. That's sort of
No,
macro.
you